Okay, so in theory we should be going up live, like right now.
It says
like
live streaming over 3 minutes ago. Oh, we're
there we
receiving
go.
your
So
content.
it's receiving the content. So they're actually going to be seeing us now because it's going to be delayed. So you might as well
We've
start
not
talking to
appeared
camera.
on the screen though.
Yeah, that's because it's delayed.
Oh,
You don't know how technology works at all.
yes I do. You put the cartridge in, and if it doesn't work, you give it a blow.
Oh,
That's exactly how it works.
And that's not true.
It is true.
No, we have live streamed you spending like 20 minutes blowing into cartridges and putting them in and then taking them out and it not working. So there we go.
Luck of the draw.
So is everything working? Are we in sync? Is there any flicker? Can you hear us? Are we in your houses, I suppose?
No, they said it's not. We're still out of sync completely.
Says no, don't really?
Yeah, they said, oh dear, sync's still well off. Oh no, someone says sync is
That's
well
an
again.
old one, I think.
I don't know, but someone says it's well. Much
Much better.
All is okay. There's no reason if it's a little bit out of sync when you re-upload the footage that you can't just move it.
It's in
so
sync.
Slightly. It's in sync.
It's
okay.
in sync. I can guarantee it. So that's absolutely fine. Do you want to do a little bit?
People are saying people are trolling. People are saying it's still well out of sync.
Is it actually well out of sync?
No, people said they're trolling.
Oh, okay.
People are saying that.
Okay, so we are actually functioning fine now, which is good. I'm going to take a nice mouthful of tea for fixing the problem. That was enjoyable.
Good. So, we will give you a little recap again what we're meant to be doing. I am going on holiday for the summer over to Greece for 5 weeks. So we are doing a bulk taping over for the other channel we have, the Top Hat Chat channel, where we discuss various different subjects, retro gaming related.
Yes, there's a little logo over in that corner over there.
So
somewhere.
yes, if you're not subscribed to that other channel, make sure you give it a subscribe.
There.
Yes.
There we go.
But yes, we are doing a bulk taping for that, and we will be taking questions amongst it all as well.
Yeah.
So basically, imagine lots of little 10-minute videos. That's what we're going to try.
Yeah, essentially.
So should we go straight on to a first start point?
I suppose so.
So imagine you are watching multiple tapings, so we will be introducing ourselves over and over again. Might be a little bit weird for you, but
yeah.
Think of this as almost your behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's essentially what this is going to be.
Yes.
So you'll get to see exactly what it is that we're doing. I can keep an eye on all of this. I can start and finish recordings when I wish. Hopefully, starting recordings won't be a massive pain in the arse.
An Exile 2828, 5 weeks holiday. Yes, school teacher privileges.
Yeah,
we deserve it.
Yeah, basically. So I'm not going to say it's your channel. if you want to see exactly what it is that I said there, then subscribe to me on Twitch, and I will fill you in later. Just remind me of this comment, and I'm sure I'll remember.
Yes. Don't know what you're talking about. Okay.
It was kind of like when they moved priests.
Now then.
Anyway, so we're going to do a kind of a bulk taping, and we have a few ideas. So what is the first idea that we're going to be going over today?
Okay, I'm just going to go bang straight into a video. You ready? And then we're going to just start talking about it.
Okay, so that's absolutely fine. Well, I can do an introduction, I suppose, and or a very, very brief introduction.
Oh, you're not recording the whole thing?
No, I'm not. I'm recording it in sections.
Okay, lazy.
No, it just saves me a lot of effort.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
It's considerably better like that.
Okay, tell me when you go live and I will start one.
Okie dokie. So I'm going to start recording it in a second, and I'll do a brief introduction just saying hello and welcome, blah, 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 blah. And then I can say, and now over to you, blah, 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 blah.
Okay, you want to introduce. Okay, press start, recording, and then go. Go.
Okay, ready? Hello and welcome to another exciting-ish edition of Top Hat Chat with myself, Street, and the Top Hat Gaming Man.
Indeed, yes, today, I am the Top Hat Gaming Man.
Unfortunately, he is. Today on the channel, we are going to be talking about something that I have no idea about because we haven't actually discussed this. We're recording live at the moment in a bulk taping, and yeah, a few people are watching us at the moment.
Yes, so it's
which is
we've gone live. It's like Monday Nitro, only rubbish.
Yes, exactly.
What was I saying? That Monday Nitro is pretty rubbish as well. So.
Yeah. In the end, it lost.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing this anyway. And yeah, so I suppose I should hand it over to you to let us know exactly what it is that we're going to be talking about, because I'll be waiting with bated breath.
Okay, today we're going to be talking about the PC Engine.
Oh, right. Okay, so we're doing a revisit, this is.
We are, yes. A few weeks ago on the Top Hat Chat channel, and the Top Hat Chat live stream, we streamed PC Engine for the first time, / Turbo Graphics.
Yeah.
And it was my first long experience with the system where both of us played the games for about 4 hours solid.
Yeah.
And our preliminary conclusion we drew upon was that the system wasn't very good. We didn't enjoy it, did we?
No, it's a big thumbs down. I mean, it was... I wouldn't say it was terrible,
no.
But our first impression was averageness overall.
Yeah, nothing at the time really stood out to me. It all felt like... The games looked pretty, but it felt like I was playing an 8-bit system, like I was playing an NES or Master System with shinier graphics.
Yeah, definitely nothing particularly special about it.
No, and it felt like the games had less character than what I played on those systems. Like, there was nothing amazing like Super Mario Brothers or Sonic the Hedgehog. Instead, we had things like Bonk. Instead.
And I think that's completely fair. And we did a little review video on Top Hat Chat and put it out there of our kind of first impressions of the system.
Yes.
And in the comments section, we had a handful of angry PC Engine fans that had a go at us and said, you didn't play the right games. I sat through the live stream and you didn't play any of the really good ones. And it's like, well, okay, well, this is our first impression.
Yes.
So we decided a few weeks down the line that we should do a revisit.
Yes, and prior to that as well, I made a whole in-depth video on this channel, 25 minutes long, about the PC Engine as well. So outside of the streams and away from the streams, I played a lot of games for the system, and revisiting the same games I played on the stream the first time, I enjoyed a lot more a second time around. And I think the reason may have been for that is because maybe I had to get used to them a little bit to get better feel for the games, like know how to actually play them. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, it does make some sense. And from what I saw of the new game, actually no, I'm going to let you go first.
Okay.
What are your secondary opinions?
What I didn't have from the last time?
Yeah.
Okay, more of the fact that, like I said, that playing the games again, they grew on me. Okay. And playing the games for a third time in the stream, they grew on me even more. So the games are almost like a fine wine. They seem to get better the more I tasted them.
You see, I'm going to have a little bit of an attack of you now.
Go for it.
And say...
Fisticuffs.
Yeah, and say, basically, that you have said on the channel before, you shouldn't have to get used to a game.
Yes.
It should be good when you play it.
Okay.
So you have said that before.
That's not exactly what I've said.
Okay,
what I've
clarify.
stated before on the channel is you should know. You're getting a bit confused. I say you shouldn't have to get used to the controls. That's my quote.
Okay.
Like if a game controls bad, it controls bad. You shouldn't have to learn how to use controls. It should be intuitive enough to work from the beginning.
Okay. So it doesn't cross over.
I don't think so. Not overly.
And that's because it suits.
I don't remember
is that because it suits your point?
No. I didn't have any trouble controlling any PC Engine games.
Okay.
It was like I had to get used to more. I don't know, really. Maybe I was just bad at them the first time I played them, so I didn't get anywhere, so I didn't really enjoy them.
I think maybe since the first time you played, your expectations were considerably lowered, and when you revisited them and spent a bit more time with the games, you kind of thought, they're not as bad as I remember.
Maybe.
Reverse nostalgia.
As well.
Reverse nostalgia.
There's no nostalgia in it, is there?
Well, there is.
I suppose so.
It's
just very recent nostalgia.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's kind of like reverse nostalgia. I think that's how.
I understand what you're saying. Like, so the first time I went into it expecting it to be really good, then the second time I went into it expecting it to be really bad.
Yes.
So it kind of leveled off. And
yeah.
I think,
you went in and thought it was really good, and it ended up, and you felt like it was awful. Then the second time you went in, and you thought it was going to be really bad, and it was considerably better than really bad. So actually, it's average.
Yeah, I think that's a fair analysis.
It's
for the PC
mediocre.
Engine. Yeah. But in terms of systems which aren't overly talked about in the same detail as like the Nintendo 64, GameCube, all the obvious ones.
Yeah.
It's I'd put it at the very high end of lesser known systems in terms of quality.
Okay.
They're very high end.
Do you think that
But outside of Nintendo, Sega, Sony and Microsoft consoles, the PC Engine's the best. If you just close the big four.
There's quite a big list of things above it then.
No, because I wouldn't say all of the consoles made by those companies are all better than the PC Engine.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying it's the best console not made by one of the big boys.
If you did say those things, you'd have double the amount of subscribers.
You said what?
If
I lied and
one.
pretend the Nintendo Switch was good and stuff like that to get views. Is
and the PS4 is the best console ever made.
Yes, and the Xbox One is horrible as well. That's the other one. That's the other one people want you to say.
But has potential that it didn't fulfill. Yeah.
But yes, how long have we been recording, Mr. Stukes?
5 minutes, so keep going.
Oh, excellent. So we can say even more
so
about
let's have a little think about the type of games that you played.
Yes.
So let's just pick one.
Yes.
What one left a really, really good impression?
Oh, let me think. What did I have the most fun playing? That's quite a big question because I played a lot.
Can I throw out there Bonk?
But I do like the Bonk trilogy. But the only thing is because there's bloody 3 of them, I get a bit like choice paralysis of which one to go for because they all play pretty similar.
To be fair, choice paralysis is a terrible reason to get annoyed at something, though.
I'm not annoyed with it, but I don't know which Bonk game to really sink my teeth into because there's 3 of them. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So I play like the first couple of levels for each one.
Yeah, they play very similarly as well. Like, there's not a lot of difference between the games.
I think I might have to side with Kanye West on Blazing Lasers.
Really?
Yes,
that's your
I really
favourite.
like Blazing Lasers. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm a bit of a genius, so it would make sense that I enjoy that game a lot, and so does my friend Kanye.
Yes, and you do have some incredible delusions of grandeur.
I don't have delusions.
And an overinflated sense of ego.
No, I don't. People just always attack me all the time for presenting new ideas. And the same thing happens to poor Kanye as well on a regular basis.
Oh, poor Kanye.
Yeah, poor Kanye.
Yeah, terrible.
Like, what's he ever done for anyone to make them attack him on Twitter all the time?
I think we're overly deviating a little bit, so we're going to try...
No, we're not. We're not deviating whatsoever. If you're going to talk about the PC Engine, you've got to talk about Kanye West. That they're like, he's almost the mascot for the platform.
Well, really?
Yes.
Now?
Yes, if people think PC Engine, or... I'd say TurboGrafx more than PC Engine, the Americanized version. If someone says TurboGrafx 16, you instantly think Kanye West. He nearly called his 8th album TurboGrafx 16.
Really?
Yes.
That close?
Yes, it was going to be called TurboGrafx 16.
That's a terrible name for an album.
And then he bottled it and changed his mind for whatever reason. But I wonder whether did he really like the TurboGrafx 16 in the first place, or did one of his agents say to him, retro gaming is considered cool at the moment, so therefore I think you should name your album over something retro gaming.
Maybe.
Like and they probably thought, we can't call it the Nintendo Entertainment System or the Sega Genesis because that's too mainstream. So we've got to make it sound like you really do like retro games, so we'll call it something after something a little bit more niche.
Something that nobody cares about, that you're not going to get copyright.
And that's why I believe that he probably said Blazing Lasers is his favourite game ever, because it would have been a bit of a cop-out if he said The Legend of Zelda or something like that. So it makes it more believable that he was a retro gamer, even though personally I don't believe it at all. I think it's weird spin because it's too nutty.
It is.
But then again, he is a bit crazy.
Oh yeah, he's absolutely.
So it could all be completely true.
Yeah. He's I think 10 years and he could go full Britney.
Good chance.
Yeah.
Has he not already gone there?
No, not yet.
Yeah.
No, he hasn't. Well, he has shaved off his head, but he was already bald.
Yeah.
I don't really know what else to say.
Do you think he's a little bit of a gay fish?
Oh, South Park references.
Yeah, South Park references.
It's not a musical reference. Well, it's vaguely musical. Anyway, let's try and bring this back around to try and talk a little bit more about the PC Engine. So the games that you played again were good. There was a reason why a lot of the games that we revisited were good, and that was because we got told to play CD games.
Yes, we did play some CD games.
So we went back and we got told that the CD games were considerably better than the non-CD games. So when we revisited, that was definitely what we went for.
And the typical one, which is great fun, and it's very good, a CD game is obviously, I believe it's a CD game, Castlevania.
If that's a CD game, that was very good.
Yeah, amazing game.
Yeah, that was very good.
So I'm not sure now I've said that.
Oh, you've probably screwed it then.
I think it's CD. The music sounds pretty CD. I'd say it's probably a CD game.
It doesn't matter. What we're talking about in general,
emulation,
the CD games were very, very good.
Yes.
So when we had I say very, very good. Very, very good compared to crap.
Yes.
So when we started playing those, it did become a little bit easier, a little bit better. And we had a bit more fun with the system.
We did.
I suppose.
It's fun, and I'm going to continue to play. When I go to Greece for 5 weeks, as of next week, I'm probably going to continue to carry on playing lots of games. In fact, can you grab that, or is it going to screw things up?
I suppose I could, but I'm going to be standing on here again.
Yeah, jump, 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 jump. You can do it, ladies and gentlemen. So yes, I'm going to be able to continue PC Engine fun when I go abroad next week. And I'll make an episode of Handhelds Around the World all about the TurboGrafx GT with its lovely Who cards, or Hue cards, or is it Ha cards?
Ha cards.
I'd say Ha cards now, actually. Think about it, logical, because it was made by Hudson Soft. So you'd assume they are Ha cards, but no one ever calls them Ha.
To be fair, that's a really good shout, and you've put some logic behind your ridiculousness.
My
So, well done.
pronunciation's excellent.
Yeah.
It always has been.
I like the fact that you're trolling people quite heavily.
No, I'm not. And I would never do so either.
Maybe.
No.
Anyway, so do you want to do a nice outro to finish off this TurboGrafx conversation?
So, ladies and gentlemen, those who are watching us live right now, we will not be going anywhere. However, if you are watching this in a short burst on YouTube. Let us know in the comment section. Actually, if you're watching live as well, let us know in the chat section or comment section, or wherever you're watching this, what you think of the PC Engine. And also, what else you would like us to discuss on this channel. That would be jolly lovely. Also, support us on Patreon because we love your money. Cheerio! We're still here.
Yeah, there we go. So
yes, that's a wrap on the first one, ladies and gentlemen, live.
Yeah, I mean, how does everybody feel about this format?
Was this weird? Was that a bit weird for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting for me, to be fair, and the way that we've got this running actually isn't as awful as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a right pain. And it seems to be going okay. So yeah, I'm quite happy about this.
So what do you think, ladies and gentlemen? So we're looking at the chat now, by the way.
Yeah, we are.
While we've gone a bit dead.
You can see how far the video is behind, because that's what people will be seeing. So somebody put, what is happening? So for anyone that's just jumping into the stream, basically what it is we're doing a live recording session of the Top Hat chat channel that myself and this gentleman here.
Yes, the Top Hat Gaming Man.
I don't know why you need to self-promote on your own channel.
Because if I say Top Hat Gaming Man enough, they might have subscribed to the channel because they liked my content. They might not have known who actually made it. So if I keep saying the Top Hat Gaming Man, it will remind them.
The channel is called the Top Hat Gaming Man.
Yes, but sometimes you watch a video on YouTube and just hit the subscribe button. Well, I do because I like the video. I don't know who made it, but I like the video and I hope I get more like that. They might not know it's made by the Top Hat Gaming Man, but if I keep saying it, they will know.
You're an upsetting man.
No.
Top Hat upsetting man.
Top Hat fun man.
I'm kind of happy that we're getting through all of this really, really quickly. We won't have to do it again.
Okay, so
for another 5 weeks.
Because anyone got? So should we just keep going? Because I think they're just talking amongst themselves more than anything else.
Yeah, I suppose we've got another thing. How are the loading times in the CD versions?
We don't know because we emulate.
Yeah, we can't.
We're sensible.
Yeah, especially when we're streaming and stuff. Yeah, it makes it a lot easier when we're streaming, when we get to play a lot of the games that we enjoy, it's considerably easier to emulate because it means you don't have to keep on getting up and swapping cartridges and stuff like that. There are times when we do use original hardware, and obviously we have a lot of original hardware here.
But the PC Engine stuff we've done so far, it's not been original hardware, although I will invest in some original hardware as soon as I get back into the country because I'm loving the system.
And to be fair, having the turbo buttons on the GT as well is something that's worth playing with.
Yes.
So
should we go straight into another video?
What are we doing this time?
Should we talk Star Wars? You ready for some Star Wars?
We can do some Star Wars.
Try and do 10 minutes Star Wars. So we might have to. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to talk about our expectations, to a degree, of Star Wars Episode 9. So if you've got any thoughts and questions on this, let us know, and we will be able to. Maybe you might be able to have some input in this video. So are you ready?
Hopefully,
yes.
You
press record and introduce it.
Hello and welcome once again to Top Hat Chat with myself, Street, and the Top Hat Gaming Man.
Yeah.
That was better than the last time.
You like that?
Yeah,
okay.
It was. Yeah, better than just saying, yes, the Top Hat Gaming Man again and again and again.
There's nothing wrong with reminding people I'm the Top Hat Gaming Man and I've got a channel too.
Okay, anyway, so today on the channel we are going to be talking about something Star Wars related.
We are indeed.
To give you slightly more information on that, I hand you over to the Top Hat Gaming annoyance over here.
The Top Hat Gaming Man.
Sorry, my pronunciation's a little bit off.
Okay, but the big question and topic I want to discuss with you and everyone else today is there any way that Star Wars Episode 9 will not be awful? Is there any way of pulling it back?
Okay,
and I'm not just being a little bit of a troll here because I know some people liked Episode 8. And I'm a bit split. I've not actually really made up my mind whether I enjoyed it or not. I enjoyed it at the time, but it feels like the opposite of fine wine to me. The more I reflect on it, the worse it becomes in my mind.
Okay, so I want to hear some of the logic behind why you think it's going to be awful, because I can see it being nothing but good.
Because they've killed every single interesting character off. They've only got the pointless, boring ones left. So Luke Skywalker, basically, the main character of the whole franchise, dead. Han Solo.
Oh, hold on. Spoiler alert for anybody that hasn't
Spoilers?
seen it.
It's a bit late for spoilers. It came out like bloody 9 months ago.
Somebody will rage if we don't
Shut
do this.
up. By this point, no
Spoiler
chance.
alert for anybody that hasn't seen episode 7, 8 or anything before that.
For anyone who's never seen The Empire Strikes Back either.
There's also some things that might spoil that as well.
Yes,
so.
we won't mention the father thing in case anyone's not seen it yet.
And nobody in their right mind remembers anything about episodes 1, 2 and 3.
The best ones.
So, yeah, there'll be spoilers for that. So.
But anyway, we are talking about why Star Wars Episode 9 is going to be terrible, in my opinion.
Okay, so they've killed off Luke.
They've killed off Luke. They've killed off Han Solo as well, who is by far the best character in the whole franchise, in my opinion.
It's really hard to disagree with that.
Yeah, you can only really put Darth Vader up there, but he died a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So,
yeah.
So yes, Han Solo dead, Luke Skywalker dead. And one who's not going to be in it because she's dead in real life, Carrie Fisher, who played Princess Leia.
Okay, so the first thing is that there is no guarantee that Princess Leia is not going to be in it.
No, they've already said she's not out of respect.
Really? So they're not even going to CGI?
So all the big characters are dead. And the thing with Leia, I think they should never have killed Han Solo or Luke. They should have killed Leia. Because it was obvious that she was going to, if anyone was going to die, it was going to be her. Oh! She was a druggie, wasn't she? So if there's anyone, it would be her. Logic.
Oh.
She was on death's doorstep for a long time. Let's be honest.
Oh, God. I'm going to breeze over that a little bit and just try and level out your opinion a little bit. And hopefully people will forget about it by this point in the video. Yeah. So a lot of the good characters in Star Wars are dead. I mean, you still have a few...
If you was going to do like a death pool lottery, you would have bet on Carrie Fisher. You would have. And anyone with any sanity would have.
Thanks for bringing that back.
Yes.
I did quite well at going over the top. You still have Kylo Ren.
Yes, he is the good character. He's the only character worth watching left in the franchise.
Yeah. So that's really cool.
They even killed off Admiral Akbar.
There was no reason for that.
Unnecessary death.
Yeah. No, I will agree with you with that. That's fair. But they have killed off a lot of the older characters, a lot of the ones that are the more memorable ones, a lot of the ones that really should still be in the franchise. Yeah. I do see the problem there. But there are still some character arcs that have yet to unfold.
But let's talk about the main characters other than, what's his face? Kylo Ren. And they're just so boring. Like Finn, Rey, Poe, and Rose, all four of them basically don't have a character. They're just dull as dishwater, and I don't even know why they exist. Why do they exist if they're so boring?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't notice in 7. I didn't notice.
Because all the good characters are still alive.
That's kind of the point. They were getting propped up.
So I can't imagine a film with just the crap characters in.
Yeah.
Like,
I can kind of see your point, although I do
Or maybe that would stop them being crap, because they've actually got space to breathe.
Maybe. So there we go. There's the other side of the coin there. Also, I don't think you have a lot of... you don't have the high ground to be able to say that all of the good characters
I always have the high ground.
You're a short man.
Doesn't matter, I have the high ground. I always have the high ground. It doesn't matter about my height.
Sit down.
No. We're
okay,
talking like this
keep your groin on the screen. That's absolutely fine. Yeah, because you still think that Episode 1 is the best film ever made.
It is.
And your favourite character is Jar Jar. So I don't feel like you have any way... I knew you'd do it eventually. That you have no way of being able to say this character was the only good one.
There is no character in the new Star Wars films was anywhere near as entertaining as Jar Jar Binks. That pretty much says how bad the films are. Yeah. Actually, they even killed one of the good new characters. They killed Snoke. He's dead as well.
Snoke was a good character
he's dead.
To be fair.
So much potential. Dead.
Yeah.
Everyone interested is dead.
Yeah, I can completely see where you're coming from. But again, as you said, the new characters will have more space to breathe. You won't be so focused on the other ones. Their story arcs have still got a lot to go. So there could be something quite incredible that will happen in the next film, and getting to see kind of a finalisation of the arc, because it's only going to be a trilogy, let's be honest. That's how they make their films, in blocks of 3.
Yeah, but they didn't. I think that's the whole issue we've got here. I don't know if you know, but one person wrote the first film, Episode 7. There's someone completely different wrote Episode 8. And now Episode 9, they're going back to the person who wrote Episode 7. So none of it makes any sense. It's like as if we know that stupid game what you play where someone says a sentence, then the next person says the next sentence, then the next person makes the next sentence, and they write a story.
What, the Top Hat chat tapings?
You know what I'm talking about. No, seriously though, there's that game, isn't there, where I would say a man walked to the park and he...
Yeah, and then something else. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
they wrote the Star Wars trilogy like that.
Yeah, no,
nothing good can come of it.
I can see your point definitely, and it's quite upsetting to think about.
It's so sad when you think about it. You've got something like that, and that's what you've done with it.
Yeah, because Star Wars is a great franchise.
It is,
and
to write it that way with no goal was just like literally making it up as they go along.
They've kind of gone overboard with the... And I'm going to say this as somebody that you might not necessarily expect to say this, but the SJW side of things, I feel like they have gone overboard with it. And I'm not one to kind of go that way about it. And I do think it has gone a bit overboard. Stories are for telling.
I've wondered, though, whether it's to be SJW... or whether it's to try and reach as many different markets as they can because Disney are such a greedy company.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Rose is Asian, as you know, and I believe she was added to the franchise to help penetrate the Chinese market, who could not give a crap about Star Wars, and it didn't work.
Well, it wouldn't work.
Obviously, but I'm saying that's a lot of a logic put behind their certain decisions. It's to try and penetrate markets rather than to make a political statement.
The films were made directly for business, and not for the love of the franchise.
Yes, and I don't think they were so much. Some of it was a little bit Peter, I suppose. Like they had that whole bit about animal rights in it for no reason. That was pointless.
The thing is, it'd be
definitely a political statement.
It would be like you creating retro gaming content and not giving a crap about retro games.
Yes. That would make me watch Mojo. You know, it would, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. In fact, that would definitely make you watch Mojo. Except for you would be at least making up your own stories.
Saying that, yes, yeah, but if I was watching Mojo, I'd still be nice, though. That would be the difference as well.
Yeah.
I'd still be a very nice man, which they're not necessarily.
That's a different topic.
Yes.
We'll come back to that one.
So's Watch Mojo as well. That could be a topic.
Maybe that will be a topic.
But could you... So to finalise and round this off, is there any way you could imagine Star Wars Episode 9 actually being good if they wrote it this way with no direction or anything?
The fact that 7 was very good.
But was it that good?
Or
was it only good because Episode 4, 5 and 6 were so great and it was kind of like, yay, nostalgia?
No, I watched it again and I enjoyed it.
Okay.
And again, like... I like Star Wars, but I'm not a massive
fanboy. Have you seen Episode 8 yet yourself? You have?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on it then?
There were some really good parts. Killing favourite characters cripples me emotionally.
But I reckon they've only done that because they get to direct one Star Wars film, so they want to do as much. They want to impact the story as much as they can.
Do you think?
Oh, I'm going to direct a Star Wars film, so I'm going to kill Luke Skywalker.
Just putting their stamp on it.
Imagine that though. It's like me. Like if someone told me I could direct a Star Wars film, I would do stuff just because I could.
You'd bring Jar Jar back.
Yes, and I'm like Obi-Wan Kenobi didn't really die, and you just make up all this random stuff because you could.
I suppose so. Yeah.
So to be fair, this would be the best. I've wrote Star Wars Episode 9. This is what's going to happen, and I hope it happens. It's going to turn out that Han Solo and Luke Skywalker didn't really die. Just you thought they died, but they didn't. Maybe that's what's going to happen. Because it's never actually outright stated that they're dead.
Some Force rebirth.
Who knows?
Force reincarnation.
But that's the only way to make it good. Is if they didn't actually die.
Yeah. Or would they bring them back as little like ghost hologram things?
Oh, they probably would do that anyway. But it'd be good if maybe they're not actually dead. Right. They never outright state that.
So here's my argument, or a very base argument for the fact that the next Star Wars film will be a good one. 7 was good. Going back and watching it again as somebody that is not a massive Star Wars fan.
And I believe it's got the same writer as 7. I believe
that's what I mean. So 7 was good. So if it's got the same writer, in theory, 9 will be good.
So he's just going to think, how can I fix all this damage?
Exactly.
Control?
Yeah.
So maybe
it would be like.
So he killed Han Solo, but he didn't kill Luke. So maybe Luke's not dead.
Maybe.
Because Luke, he just disappears. No, I've never seen anyone disappear. Before.
Force.
Other than obviously Maddie McCann, but again, we don't know whether she died. That was too far, wasn't it?
I'll cut that out.
Okay.
Right, if you're just rejoining us again now, I had to cut out something that he said.
Yes. Sorry.
You're such a hard person to work with.
I'm sorry.
Never work with children or animals.
It was too easy. It was too easy. I'm sorry.
So yeah, I mean, I think that the next Star Wars film, we'll have to wait and see.
Yes.
But I think that it's not definitely going to be bad. It just has a chance of being bad.
Yeah, I reckon it'd be bad. there's no chance it's going to be as good as episode 1.
Okay.
No chance.
So everybody sitting watching at home, watching this video now on YouTube, what is it that you think about Star Wars Episode 9? Did they kill off all the best characters? Do you still like the remaining characters? What are your opinions on how Episode 9 is going to go? What do you think the story arc will be? Let us know in the comment section, and I'll do my best to try and comment back, I suppose.
Yes, we would love to hear your thoughts.
Yes.
Cheerio! We're not really gone, ladies and gentlemen, because as you can see, we're still here, but that was the end of that taping.
Yeah, and we got another one done. That's not too bad.
We've got 2 so far.
Yeah.
So...
hopefully there's no problems with the recording. They all go well, otherwise we're fucked. So what are you reading in the comment section at the moment?
So Mad Scientist Jr. says Luke Skywalker, he was struck down with a saying Han Solo was struck down with a lightsaber. Luke got a little bit tired after projecting his image to another planet. So yeah, that's my theory, that maybe he's not actually dead.
Yeah.
Harry Warburg, it makes no sense. Why should we care about episode 6 when we know Luke's Jedi will just end up dead shortly after? So he's saying that the new films have made the other films, the originals, pointless.
Oh, that's not a bad shout.
You know they're going to have a bad. It's got the bad ending coming up. It's going well for now, but everyone's going to just get massacred in the next films.
Yeah, I can see that being a problem.
And just get replaced by these dull as dishwater new characters.
Yeah. Is that not the same as Avengers?
I don't watch Marvel. I'm not 10.
These guys will.
Okay.
Okay.
Robin says the last 10 minutes of Rogue One was epic. Episode 7, 8 and 9 should have been the same tone, darker and more in line with the originals.
To be fair, I think the darkness...
everything should be in line with the originals, though, surely. That's what Star Wars is, so you should try and make...
Episode 1, 2 and 3 definitely wasn't.
Yeah, and people didn't like it for that reason. And the things I liked about it was the stuff that was like the originals.
Jar Jar.
Ewoks. Yoda. You know what I mean? You've always had characters like that in Star Wars.
Maybe. Will Lando 100% die in the new one?
They bring him back just so he can die. He's got no reason to be there at the moment. So.
I hope he does come back.
Just so they can kill him.
I don't care if he dies, but I do want to see him back. The story is about the new characters anyway. Maybe it's just a complete setup for episodes 10, 11 and 12.
He's a Christian that said the story is about the new characters anyway. Well, if it is, they've not done a very good job because there's nothing to care about the new characters.
He'll 22% die from score events. Maybe. One nasty question mark says, Ewoks were gay. We don't approve of homophobia, but talking about Ewoks are right.
Yeah, they're
nothing wrong with Ewoks.
There is, yeah, they're okay.
Yeah.
Again, they are a proper caching, though, aren't they? Just to sell teddy bears. That's the only reason they exist.
Sorry, Out of the Shadow says 7 was a remake of 4, and 4 was a combo remake of Dune and the Hidden Fortress.
I've not seen Dune and the Hidden Fortress, but I agree with
I've
the 7
seen
and 4
Dune.
remark. The 7 and 4 remark.
I've seen Dune. Lando will be Me Too'd and banished from the galaxy. Oh God!
Maybe that's a future topic. Is will Star Wars Episode 9 be better than Ewoks in the Caravan of Courage?
Yeah, maybe that's what this video should be called. Is it time to get Lucas back? No.
Well, it'd be good because then he can make so like Episode 1 again. That was one of the best things about the Han Solo film, the fact that it had Darth Maul in it.
Did you say Darth Moan?
Maul.
Oh, you just overpronounced the L and it turned into an M in my ear. So there we go. So I suppose we've got to get another
Yub Nub. Yeah, that's a good song. That was in the original version. What got edited out? No, George Lucas done the limited edition versions.
Yeah.
He got rid of the song Yub Nub for some reason. It's the Ewok celebration song at the end.
I think I've only seen the edited versions. So there we go.
Yeah.
Right. So we've got another video that we need to record now.
Yes. So let's do it.
So what's the next topic?
PS4.
PS4.
Yeah.
Okay. We can get through. We can try and get through.
So yes, feel free to ask us to throw in questions about PlayStation 4 as we're talking. We might come and have a look in the middle of it. So
we may do. We'll try.
We may or may not do. We will see.
Try and keep it vaguely PS4 related in the chat while we are recording the video, and then if we do need to jump to you, at least we can see what's going on.
So don't talk about anything other than PlayStation 4, please.
Yeah. That's a kind ask.
It's a command.
Yeah, but if you command, they won't listen.
I know.
Same as when you command me, I don't listen.
Yeah. Press record.
Okay. Hello and welcome to Top Hat Chat once again with myself, Street, and the Top Hat Gaming Man. Today we are going to be discussing some PS4 related content because we know how much retro gaming fans like that.
Yes, they bloody love it, don't they?
Yeah.
But in regards to that, the main question is, how will the PlayStation 4 be remembered in years from now, do you think? How will people reflect back on their experiences with the system?
That's a strange thing to do. Like, it's almost talking about kind of the legacy
Yes,
that's going to be left behind
indeed.
by the PS4. The PS4 did some very interesting things. It went from being an underdog in the games console market with the death of the PS3 and the Xbox 360, and, you know, not on its last legs as such, but was definitely the inferior console.
Well, I think the point you're trying to make, because I will make your point more rounded because I know what you're trying to say. You're basically trying to say the PlayStation 3 was the first Sony household console what did not dominate the market.
That's not what I was trying to say.
But I will make that point. I will make that point then because it's important.
What I was trying to say is that the PS3 was the
was the what? Let me know.
I don't know. You just pushed me.
Yeah, because I was trying to build on your point. But
I will legitimately get you done for assault.
No, you will not.
It's recorded.
But I didn't assault you.
You did.
No, I didn't.
You touched me.
I touched you. I didn't assault you. Reasonable force. It was reasonable force.
That doesn't work with kids. It won't work with me.
True.
Anyway, the PS4. So the PS4 did some quite interesting things. The things that it did were it managed to regain its top spot at the top of the gaming pyramid.
It did.
Very, very quickly after the PS3 did so miserably against the Xbox 360. And how it did that was basically through a series of complete mistakes.
I think you need to get your facts straight slightly. The Xbox, there was a point where the Xbox 360 was dominating against the PlayStation 3.
It ended up relatively okay.
Yes. Overall, it ended up balanced.
And then it came back, and when the PS4 was released, a series of severe mistakes by Microsoft.
Indeed, that part is definitely true.
Basically forced the PS4 to the top.
It did.
By a considerable margin.
It did, yes.
With ridiculous statements made by Xbox, such as the console will always have to be online or you can't play any games.
Yes, and also the fact that apparently you was going to buy games and the moment you put them in the system, it would be locked to that system forever.
Yeah.
So you would never be able to sell anything on ever again.
So the PS4 become amazing because Xbox were being greedy.
Yeah, basically people bought the PlayStation 4 because the Xbox One was being marketed to be awful, a product what no one would actually want.
Yes, and I think that's quite interesting because Sony didn't do any of that itself.
No, that's hilarious.
It was literally just luck. But what they did after that is they capitalised on the mistakes of the Xbox.
You could argue though,
Xbox.
Was it luck? Because the other theory is that the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 was originally intended to be exactly like how the Xbox One was going to be. But because the Xbox One was launching before the PlayStation 4, they got to see the outrageous amount of negative backlash Microsoft got, so they just capitalised on it and took the mick.
Pretty sure that's exactly what I just said.
You didn't. You said that it was luck, but it wasn't. They saw what they had done, and then they changed their mind what they was going to do.
So same point, just whether it was luck or not is debatable.
Yeah, like the PlayStation 4 was going to be the same, to my knowledge. Everything was going to be the same. It was going to always be online. The games were going to be locked. All that was standing with Sony, as far as I'm aware. But they saw what happened to Microsoft. And then they thought, we're just going to stick the knife in here.
Okay, fair point. Okay. It's what Sony then did after that little press conference that Xbox did and the whole debacle there. And then after this, once it became bigger, it started to do things a little bit differently and started experimenting. And throwing some of that money from the console sales into developing its own games. Which is a really smart idea because now, when was it released? 6 years ago? 5 years ago?
I think 2012.
So
I could be wrong.
Quite a while, 6 years-ish?
Yeah.
So 6 years ago. In the 6 years, people are now saying how great the PS4 library is.
Yes.
And the exclusives are, and that is the reason to buy it. So the fact that they did that was very smart of them. After this, they also started experimenting more with peripherals. One of the big successes of, well, I say big successes, but one of the big gambles of the 360 was the Kinect system. And it had a lot of promise. And they've expanded on that and kind of gone, right, okay, well, we're going to do something different. We're going to get like a peripheral that is going to do things. And the VR came out.
Oh, it comes up so much in the Fire Chat videos.
But this is definitely something to talk about.
I don't think it sells the system at all.
But we're talking about the legacy of the PS4 and how it's going to be seen in 10 years, 15 years' time. So I think VR is important.
I don't know. I don't know if anyone's really... I think it's going to be the equivalent of like the Kinect on the 360. I think it's going to be there. But I don't really think it's going to be anything people really talk about or acknowledge, personally.
Yeah. So, but it could go either way.
I think it'd be remembered as a system with a large library of quality games, which is true. There's no denying that.
Yeah, but it could influence the next generation of consoles to either go with VR and try and push for that as part of their systems, or kill it off completely, depending on how well it goes with the PS4. I think that's a fair...
Possibly.
I think that's a fair comment to make.
Yeah, personally, I think it is one of those pieces of technology that comes around in cycles once every 20 years, the same as 3D. I've said this a few times on the channel. We first got 3D in the 1950s. It then had a second wind in the 1980s. Its third wind came in the 2010s when people were strange and decided to buy 3D televisions. Do you remember that? Every time they have to wait for people to forget how bad that technology is, then relaunch it. I believe VR is the same. It had its first big run in the early 90s, and we've just had its second. So in theory, we should not get any more horrible VR until around 2036 or something like that.
I like the fact you put in an exact year, right? Do you want to put a date on it as well?
Okay, we say
March.
Yeah, we say March 22nd, 2036. That's
so if you're watching this video on March 22nd, 2036, let us know how VR's doing.
Yeah, we'd like to know. We would.
Yeah. But I mean, the Google console is coming out. We have no idea what this is, and we're going to briefly bring this in as well. Because do you not think that Google will be looking at how well the PS4 VR is doing and thinking, should we go along a similar route?
Definitely. Of course, they'll be analysing.
Exactly. So that's kind of the point that I was making before. It will be a make or break of whether they do that in the next generation of consoles.
Here's a question though. A console's legacy is always impacted on how useful it is as well. Obviously, we can go back and we can play PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 games, buy them in the shop for like £1 at the moment, which is excellent. PlayStation 4 though, although you will be able to buy the games for pennies down the line, have they ruined it so that now will the discs be useless because now you need updates and stuff? So are they essentially just going to be worth throwing in the bin down the line?
Potentially. We could get to a point where they're then soft moddable, so you can download the patches and the updates online and play the patch that you wish to play. That is something that I've thought about before. I thought maybe that's it. But the other thing is that are the physical side of the media going to be around at all? Because we're leaning more and more towards the downloads. Some of those games are going to be a lot harder to find because they're just being downloaded. Not necessarily at the moment, because obviously there still is quite a large call for physical media.
Well, yeah, we know that. The PlayStation 4, there's going to be loads of physical media around for it, because there is loads of physical media around. So we know in the future we will be able to get those discs. The question is, though, as we said, will those discs work? We don't know at this stage.
It's an interesting point.
So it could be like basically, will retro gaming end with the Xbox 360 and the the PS3?
Maybe.
Would those be the last consoles worth going back to get? Because would the others just be dead, essentially?
It's an interesting thought. You also got to look at some of the games that are coming out, even with the Switch and stuff like that. Some of them are download only.
Yeah, but that's
still
what it's been for. Even on the Wii, there was games on the bloody Wii what were download only, and
they just disappeared now.
Yeah, for now, anyway.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Are we going to be? Are some of these games just going to disappear off the face of the planet? Potentially.
Yeah, there is potential for that. So yes, I'm not quite sure how the legacy will be. How long have we been recording? Out of curiosity,
9:28.
9 minutes 28. I suppose it's about time to wrap, isn't it?
I suppose so.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let us know in the comment section how you believe the PlayStation 4's legacy will be held up in years to come down the line. What do you think will happen to the physical media? Do you think the physical media will work as well? I'd be curious to hear your thoughts. Is the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 going to be some of the final retro games consoles to collect down the line? Let us know in the comment section. Cheerio! Okay, that's a wrap on video number 3.
Yeah, that's not too bad. You've done all right, yeah.
Yeah, so we've got nearly 80 people watching our live as well. So yes, we didn't really go away, ladies and gentlemen. If you've just joined us, we are doing a bulk taping of videos for our secondary channel, the Top Hat Chat channel, where we discuss various things retro gaming. We thought we'd try something new this week and do it all live with you.
It might be actually worth... Sorry, I've got a cough. It might actually be worth throwing a link to the other channel, because I'm not sure if it's in the description. Just throwing it into the chat so people can find
Top
it.
Hat Chat, okay, I will do that quickly. I wanted to do it. I wanted to.
What are you trying to do?
Just put YouTube, type in YouTube.
It's youtube.com.
Oh, you know
youtube.com/c/Top Hat Chat.
Okay, YouTube.
.com/c/Top Hat Chat.
So here's where you want to subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. If you've not subscribed already, this is our other channel.
There we go.
So, we've discussed quite a few things. Ask us some questions now, ladies and gentlemen, and we will discuss them in depth. Throw us a question. If it tickles our fancy, we will discuss it. Put a question mark in your comment so we know it's a question. I will read it out and we will decide whether we can talk about it for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's probably a good way of doing it. Also, how are people finding the format? Do you like seeing behind the scenes exactly how we go? I mean, we haven't planned any of this.
No, it's all on the fly, basically.
We literally had a few topics. We didn't discuss them beforehand. We've sat down, we've gone on a live stream, and this is how we record every time. So you're getting our actual conversations.
Yes. No scripts, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and sometimes we will carry on talking afterwards if it's something that we don't feel like we've completely wrapped.
GFox1 says, what is this Watch Mojo beef that's been happening? I don't know whether I can do that in a chat format video because I need sources to go backwards and forwards to be able to discuss it properly. So doing that live would be difficult.
It's a hard one to do without me having up on my phone or my tablet all of my information.
Who's your favourite WWE wrestlers? There's lots, but
again, not really chattable.
No, be difficult to do that one.
Could Sega ever make a comeback?
Have they ever gone away?
Yes.
No, you still Sega.
Still Sega
Sonic
games.
Mania was released physically only a few days ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
What's your favourite Super Famicom Fire Emblem game? Haven't played any of the Super Famicom ones really enough to give you a definitive answer.
Where do you buy your hats? I find mine all over the place. Amazon, Game, stuff like that. Yeah.
I get them on eBay mostly.
Yes.
Topic Gaming Man and boyfriend. How long have you been together? I'd say about 12 years now.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, 12 years.
Yeah, we're doing all right. Do you guys like Killer Instinct? What, the Super Nintendo Killer Instinct? Yes, I do.
We do. Yeah, we will give you answers to all the questions. We're just looking for a juicy one where we can talk about. Next Nintendo console, new Nintendo handheld. From that's Venom, if you remember him.
Yes.
What do you guys think about the possible Nintendo Switch Pro or something like that? I think it's something what clickbait YouTubers talk about personally.
Yeah. Although, bearing in mind it's not being clickbaity, we will put it out there and just make a point of saying that there won't be a Pro, not for a while yet. There won't. There's pointless.
Do you want Channel Awesome to be taken over by Guru Larry? Of course. Everything should be taken over by Guru Larry. We are asking for Victor Marquez, who's just joined us. We are ask us any questions, and if we like it, we'll discuss it for 10 minutes straight.
That's pretty much how we're going to do it.
Did you like the Trump blimp? No, I absolutely hated it, Scary Scargo, but that's too political for me to talk about.
I thought it was alright.
Yes, but you're an idiot. Do you follow any other YouTube channels? We do. We follow lots of YouTube channels.
I've got a handful. Most of them aren't on the Top Hat Chat one, but they're on my personal one.
Okay. What do you think about consoles like the PS4, Xbox One, more or less becoming locked down, overpriced PCs? Have we talked about that before? I think I've ranted about it in various videos.
Yeah, I think so.
Pretty much what you said. That is what I think about them. You kind of answered the question within his question, didn't he?
Yeah.
Better retro console, ColecoVision or Intellivision? I'm going to say ColecoVision, hands down. Again, I can't really talk about that much because I think it's too...
it's too one-sided.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you been to the US? If so, any differences between gaming cultures? That is potentially a good question.
Do you think?
I've been to the US a lot, and there's massive differences.
Is there?
Huge differences. And
well, this would be you educating me, I suppose. I
okay,
suppose
yep.
I can
Great
ask,
question.
ask
Great
questions.
question. Who was that one from? Let me just check. The real Yes, the real Chambos. Okay. Yes. Go.
Okay. Hello and welcome back to Top Hat Chat with myself, Street, and the Top Hat Gaming Man. Today we are going to be doing a user-submitted question regarding the differences between gaming culture in the UK and the US.
Yes.
Specifically, retro gaming
and
culture.
Sorry to interrupt you. We are doing this live on YouTube at the same time. You're watching a pre-recorded video at the moment.
They're all pre-recorded.
Yes, YouTube.
And you call me stupid.
Yes, but it's not pre-recorded. It's both. It's both. It's live and pre-recorded, isn't it? Depending on how you're watching right now. But yes, that question was from the real Chambos.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're going to throw that out there. We're going to start doing it. I mean, there's not a lot that I can really add to the conversation. It's going to be more of you educating me on your opinions.
I have spent quite a lot of time in America. I think I've visited the country 5 times.
Yeah, you've been to about 36 different states.
25 different states. So
lazy.
Half of them.
Lazy.
Half of them.
Yeah.
And my last visit lasted 3 months as well. And I got to see Donald Trump come to power. I was actually there.
Yeah. Don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but again, politics. We're not going there. Entertaining.
Yes.
At least.
But anyway, we're talking about the differences between the two gaming cultures, and I think the differences are quite vast.
Yeah, which is why you chose this particular comment.
Yes, because it is worth discussing because they are so different, in my opinion. Especially if you look to the past. The past is where the real differences are. I suppose.
I mean, I know a little bit about the past, I suppose. As far as
the past, is that what you're basically really old people? Is that what you're saying?
No, well, I suppose the middle somewhere.
The middle past.
Yeah, middle past is what I'm going to say. Because obviously we had the great North American video game crash.
Yes, what they just refer to as the video game crash for some reason.
They think it happened everywhere.
Yeah, it didn't.
Yeah, it didn't. Silly Americans. So that happened. And while the whole of America must have been depressed and miserable because they had nothing to do apart from watch baseball, which I've heard is miserable.
Yeah, it probably is.
I think didn't you go to a game?
No, of course not. I'm not that lowbrow.
I thought you might have just gone for a hot dog.
No.
I know how much you love sausage.
I did go to a football game, and when I say football game, I mean what they would call soccer.
Oh, okay.
That's
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I went to a university soccer game. That word sounds dirty, doesn't it? It does.
Anyway, where was I?
We were talking about the differences. Let's go right back to the beginning of gaming history somewhat, at least within the home.
Oh, no, sorry, just the end of that comment that I was going to make was, so they had nothing to do apart from watch baseball, which sounds miserable. We were over here tinkering with our microcomputers.
Yes, but before all that, there's a before.
So we'll go back before, that's fair enough.
I suppose the genesis of it all has to start really, I suppose, with Pong consoles. So you're familiar with Pong?
No, what's Pong?
Yes, I hope you're being sarcastic.
I say sarcastically.
Yes.
Yes. Tell me about Pong.
So like the tennis style game with the knobs, what you play on the television.
Love it.
Yes. You get a whole system to play just one game. I'm pretty sure they were popular in both nations. And then past that, you had the Atari 2600, which was popular again in both nations. But then something really weird happened past that. After the Atari 2600, Brits began gaming on computers instead, personal computers, or we like to call them microcomputers. So systems like the ZX Spectrum, which is British, the Acorn Electron, British, BBC Micro, British, and then a lot of American systems as well, which was highly popular over here, like the Commodore 64. For example.
There we go.
So you had all these great micros, which had a great range of games. A little bit later, you had the Amstrad CPC 464, was great as well. And then you even got high-end ones as well, like you had the Amiga and you had the Atari ST, which was 16-bit as well. So they were fantastic. You got a question?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you say anything about the Dragon 32, or is
No,
there a reason why you missed it? Is there a reason why you missed that one?
There's no reason other than the fact it was more obscure than some. There were so many microcomputers that it would be impossible for me to run over every single one.
Because that was Welsh. That's the only bit of information I know about that. They got in on it as well. Did Scotland have a go?
They probably did. There must be Scottish microcomputers. In fact, Rockstar Games, that all started up in Scotland, developing games on microcomputers. And that's where the GTA franchise came on. So the microcomputer boom in the UK, it contributed a ridiculous amount to gaming history. And that's something else sad as well. The Americans often credit Japan as the main source for like gaming history, which I find really odd. It's like as if everything revolves around Japan, and I suppose that goes back to their crash again, because for some reason everyone was so heavily invested in Atari that once people stopped buying games for that system, it kind of just died, and it took what's it called, Nintendo, to come along to the market with their NES before anyone was gaming. Again, where people didn't stop gaming in the UK.
It must have been a really miserable time.
It must have been, yes. Well, saying that, I don't think it was, because people only stopped playing games because obviously they were bored of games. Like people who did like games, they probably wasn't even aware of this crash.
Well, to be fair, there's a few comments that we've had when we've done things before where people said, "I was gaming."
Yeah, exactly.
There was no crash for me.
Exactly, yeah.
So yeah, I mean that is a thing.
Yeah, and the arcades, they never stopped being popular over there, as far as I'm aware.
So I mean, I suppose the great North American video crash. I mean, well, the great video game crash, which we refer to as the North American video game crash,
personally like
actually was just
the Atari crash.
Yeah, and it was a change in the way people actually engaged with gaming.
Yeah.
Rather than a crash, I suppose. People
just stopped. It should have been called the North American Atari crash. Yeah. That's not the video game. Right? So that's hyperbole.
Yeah. So we've pushed that even more out of the window.
Exactly.
More than usual, which is nice.
So that's the first big difference. Obviously, we had the micro scene. They had the video game crash. That's the first big difference in cultures.
Okay.
And then we talk about retro gamers, the retro gamers of today. I went to a gaming convention in the US, and I've been to a lot over here. You've even been to.
I've been to one. I'm going again soon.
And I went to see some panels with a lot of their retro gaming YouTubers, all the people who've appeared over the years on that. What's that? Retroware TV. It was a website.
And I vaguely know something about
basically, everyone used to appear in it, like Pat the NES Punk, the Gaming Historian, Game Chasers, all things like that. And people was asking them questions. And it was really sad, because they was not so much sad, but sad for their culture as someone looking in on it. That they was all giving the same stock answers to the same questions. Like people would ask them a question and they would all answer it in the same way. Like, what's your favourite system? And I think every single one of them said the NES. Like all of them.
Yeah, that's... I don't think you'd get anywhere near those kind of
I don't think anyone would say that at a UK convention.
I think if you got Dan Ibbotson from Slope's Game Room, Guru Larry and Ashens in the same room and asked them what their favourite console is, they'd all be different.
Yeah, they would definitely all be different.
Yeah.
And, yeah, you could literally add every UK YouTuber. If you had Octavia, I can't even pronounce my words now. Octavia's Kitten, Nostalgia Nerd, Retro Man Cave. You had them all. I bet most of them would give you a completely different system each. Yeah.
It's nice that you got over fumbulating all of your worms.
I did. It's hard when talking about consoles. Sometimes.
So more history. I want more history.
So yes, going back to the YouTubers as well. Like even they all said, someone asked them a question: what is the rarest game you own? And even those, they pretty much, the people on this panel anyway, all gave exactly the same answer.
It wasn't Earthbound, was it?
No, it was all... every single one of them said Little Samson on the NES.
Oh, okay.
All of them.
So it can't be that rare.
No.
If they've all got
it. But I'm just saying, it was very, very stock, very Nintendo-centric. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And that's the big difference between our gaming culture and the American gaming culture, is it's nowhere near as Nintendo-obsessed, basically.
Okay.
And the Nintendo obsession actually still goes to this day in terms of modernness as well. Like, I remember going to Walmart quite regularly.
Yeah.
And if you go to Walmart, the first thing I was seeing a lot of the time was big, like, what would you even call them? Like, the signs? No, they've got, like, concrete and then a sign, like the flappy signs. You know what I'm talking about?
A flappy sign?
Like you get
you saw a flappy sign?
Yes. There was flappy Nintendo signs everywhere, advertising Nintendo products.
See, when we go into game stores in the UK, for anybody that is currently watching overseas, it's pretty much... Down this entire wall here, there'll be PlayStation 4 stuff. And down this entire wall here will be Xbox One stuff.
And there'll be a little tiny bit of
And then there'll be a little box about this big in the middle of the store with a handful of Nintendo
and it's
on it.
Always been like that. That's not at the moment. That's always been the case.
And if you go into our supermarkets...
They don't do Nintendo games in our supermarkets,
I think I've seen... No, I went in the other day and they did.
They did. Really?
They had a whole aisle, small aisle, but an aisle nonetheless. And at the end of it, it had Hoovers.
Which supermarket was this?
This was Tesco.
Okay, Morrison's definitely don't have Nintendo games.
But right at the end, they had Hoovers, and then a little bit further down, they had I think there's some PlayStation 4 games, just the top recent ones.
Yeah. And
they had the top Xbox games there.
Was it like FIFA, Call of Duty, all those sort of games?
That kind of stuff, yeah.
Assassin's Creed.
And then a little bit closer towards the end of the aisle was a little bit that had Switch stuff, and it had 2 different types of case, a controller, a lot of signage, and Mario and Rabbids.
That's it.
There we go. For people that live overseas, this might amaze them.
Well, only in America, because I don't believe Nintendo do have a big presence in most countries, really.
I didn't realise there was other countries apart from us.
They're the only ones.
Was it just us?
I suppose they're the only ones who really watch these channels because that's where most of the English first language population are in those two countries. So
yes.
It would make sense.
Yeah. We're not alienating everybody else.
Yeah. So yes,
that was a joke.
It was a joke. Yes. Yeah. But yeah, what have we talked about so far? We talked about the beginning with the microcomputers, and we talked about the end, the present. So let's talk about in the middle a little bit. A lot of people might not know, but in the 16-bit era, in the US, the Super Nintendo dominated. In Europe, the Mega Drive dominated. So again,
that makes some sense.
Completely different.
Yeah.
So when I was in school, people used to think I was weird because I had a Super Nintendo, because they all had Mega Drive.
See, again, I don't remember that as a kid. I mean, I got mine really early because I was quite young. But I don't remember that at all.
What, the people thought Nintendo was weird?
Yeah, I had a Super Nintendo. Loved it. Really enjoyed it. Didn't know. I knew.
Actually, I was 4 years old.
Actually, Ryan had a Mega Drive.
So yeah, and everyone had Mega Drives.
Yeah.
And if they didn't have a Mega Drive, they probably was more like to have an Amiga than a SNES. I'd even say perhaps.
Maybe.
Yeah. So yes, that was the big difference. And then after that, Sony have pretty much dominated here ever since. Past that,
yeah.
There is one area Nintendo have always made a big impact here, though. There's one area. That's their handhelds.
Yes.
Their handhelds have always sold.
But to be fair,
but nowhere near what they do in the States.
Yeah. Relatively recently, there hasn't been a lot of competition. No. Really. So they're bound to win.
I suppose so. Like back in the day, I bet you more people had Game Gears here than they and Atari Lynx.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine how popular you'd be if you were the only retro gaming YouTuber? That's what I mean. Yeah. You're going to dominate.
Yeah.
You don't. You know, there's no competition.
Yeah. I get you. So you're saying Nintendo, of course, their handhelds are popular now because they're the only ones.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You get PlayStation Vitas and stuff like that.
I would agree. Obviously, you don't get Vitas. I mean, it's been dead technically for years. Some games get released, but
what I'm saying is that you have Vitas. You've had Vitas. You've had PSPs. There's been a handful of others. Small handful of others.
But yes, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's covered a lot of the cultural differences.
I've learnt lots.
So yeah, I'd say that's pretty comprehensive. And one last thing. From what I've seen, they seem like following their I don't even think what would the word be, their activities online. They seem a lot more obsessed with the Nintendo Switch than most Englishmen I've met. Yeah. But that would go back to the whole weird NES fetish. Yes, I suppose
Nintendo centric crap.
Yeah. So yeah. So that's the big difference. We're not Nintendo centric where they are, I suppose. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this video, which I guess you are, if you're still here, that didn't make any sense, did it?
And you call me stupid. Again, you've made some serious cock-ups in this one.
But, ladies and gentlemen, let us know in the comment section if you agree with us. Do you believe that America is Nintendo-centric? And do you believe that Europe is not so much? We'd be curious to hear your thoughts. Cheerio! So yes, that's another one.
There we go. Oh, I actually didn't hit record for that one.
Did you really?
No, of course not.
You're so amusing, not.
Oh, well, I had to try and make me smile.
Okay.
I thought you were going to try and, verbally tirade me for, 10 minutes.
Did that trigger anyone making that video, talking about different cultures?
Definitely.
Probably did.
They should have been used to you by now.
Yeah. So, that was a really good question. I enjoyed that one.
4 people just went. We're not leaving.
We're not actually leaving. Sorry. We're doing live tapings.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not going anywhere. We're still here.
Let's see what people have got to say. Topic Game Man, do you think the mid-gen console refreshes will become a thing? For example, November 2019, we get the PS5, then 2022, the PS5 Pro. I do think that would be a thing, but I don't think it's worth discussing because I think it's really obvious.
Yeah. I don't think we can get 10 minutes out of
that. Sorry, he's trying to say that American gaming shops don't have 90%, 95% Sony and Microsoft stuff. Yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to say. It is 95% here.
Yeah, it's legitimate.
I know you do get a lot of PS4, Xbox games, but you do get your Nintendo presence there is so much bigger than it is here.
Well, in fact, if you
I couldn't believe it when I first went there, the amount of Nintendo stuff everywhere. I thought people just really liked the product. I didn't realise how placed it was.
Yeah, well, what we'll have to do is, if you follow either of us on Twitter, at some point, we will take pictures of our local game shop and show you how ridiculously small the Nintendo Switch sections are in our local game stores and in our supermarkets, just to give you an idea.
Do you think the next generation consoles have more remasters, most for PS4 and Xbox One era? Again, can't really answer that throwback because it's a unanimous yes, isn't
Yes,
it?
it is,
We
yeah.
know that the remasters have got ridiculous, or at least re-releases. Topic Game Man, 8-bit do, making it possible to use new and old hardware together, making retro gaming new again. What do you guys think of this trend, and what hardware combos do you want to see? Don't know. Can we discuss that in detail? Do you think?
I tuned out and didn't hear what you were saying.
Okay. Basically, I think we've talked about before between us anyway. The retro gaming hardware, what you can get from modern devices. You know what I mean? Like you can get a SNES controller for the Switch and stuff. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah.
I don't know if we can stretch a topic out of it.
Yes.
Topic Game Man, did you watch the fresh Puff of Bel Air with PG Tips Chimps? That's awful. That's an awful thing to say, isn't it?
It is.
Yes, we do not condone that sort of language, ladies and gentlemen.
We are not a homophobic channel.
No, or racist.
Yes. If you want to go see some scum, go and find Watch Mojo.
Yes, indeed.
Is Watch Mojo becoming our who does Larry hate?
Peter Molyneux.
Yeah. Is Watch Mojo becoming our Peter Molyneux?
I never see Peter Molyneux attack Larry on Twitter though, like Watch Mojo do to me. That's the difference.
Yeah. No, they rekindled a year-old rivalry. Yeah. Funny. But
and then later deleted their tweets as well.
You must have left an imprint.
Yeah.
Maybe their PR guys that they must have hired after you last time finally got involved and went, no. You need to stop.
We're still waiting for questions. Anyone got any more good questions? And then we will start another Top Hat Chat video.
No, apparently not.
No. They're gone. I'm thirsty, but I'm going to wait for a good question. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, you've got an open forum here. Ask some questions and we will discuss.
Opinion on Mega Man Legacy Collection on the Switch having some of the advertised games on a download code, despite the fact they can fit on the cartridge.
Oh yeah, I knew about that.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Why is Crash Bandicoot #1 in the UK? Is it #1 officially?
Well, we know why. I don't know if we can drag a whole video out of that, but the PlayStation was outrageously popular, wasn't it? So it would make sense. That was like a whole generation of children's favourite game at one point.
But that wouldn't be specifically UK-ish, would it?
What, the PlayStation?
Yeah.
It was really dominant in the UK, like ultra dominant.
Okay.
Sonic versus Crash, who would win?
Any
more plans for travel, Top That Gaming Man? I am going away in a few days. That's literally why we are doing this big bulk taping right now. I'm going to Greece for 5 weeks. Going to cover all sorts of systems.
Is game hoarding a mental illness?
I've discussed that quite a lot.
I've told you are mentally ill.
But yes. Yeah. I don't hoard games though, because I only buy good ones. You don't often find me buying crap. It is buying a Mega Duck a mental illness. What are you getting?
Crap. There's too much.
You're looking for crap.
There's physically too much of me to carry. You have NBA Jam Extreme on the Sega Saturn. There we go. There's one straight away.
Yeah, but some
Max
of them
Superbike TT.
Some of them are just like throw-ins. That's the issue. Where they've come
Street
from.
Fighter the movie.
Street Fighter the movie's awesome.
No, it's not. What else have we got up here? I don't know about NES games.
I'm reading your questions, ladies and gentlemen. I'm skim reading everything, and if anyone catches my eye, we will cover it.
Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games.
We've talked about the Atari VCS already on Top Hat Chat recently.
Crazy Taxi, Fair Wars.
Someone's got... These are good games. Does stuff like Mario Kart 8 compatible with Labo and attempt at making it more aimed at adults?
95% of your N64 collection.
Oh, no, that's definitely not true. Do you ever get burnt out on gaming and want to take a break? That's from Zen Zero. That's worth. I think that's quite a good one.
Depends if I'm gaming anywhere near him or
What's
not.
the other question? What do you think will happen to YouTube retro gaming shows in the future, like AVGN in the 2030s? Is that worth a topic as well?
I don't know.
Do you think it will be possible to game without internet on next generation consoles?
Yes.
We'll talk about gaming burnout. We will talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, we can try and get something out of that.
You've won, Zen Zero. Thank you, Soul Gaspar.
Right, you ready?
Yeah.
Hello and welcome back once again to Top Hat Chat with myself, Street, and the Top Hat Gaming Man.
Top Hat Gaming Man. Yes, that's my name. Are you ready for another exciting discussion?
No!
Of gaming.
No, I'm burnt out.
You are burnt out.
And that is the topic of this video.
I'm burnt out too. It's a good thing I'm going on holiday for 5 weeks in a few days, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
It's good.
You should enjoy yourself.
But yes, ladies and gentlemen, we will be discussing gaming burnout. Yes. And so, do you ever find yourself suffering from a burnout from playing games?
I don't anymore because I have significantly less time to actually play games.
Okay.
So every hour that I spend playing games is worth playing.
Okay.
You know, so that's good for me. I've also started up my own Twitch channel, which is growing slowly. Twitch.tv/Top Hat Street. So if you want to come and find me on there, I'll be streaming kind of hopefully 3 days a week. Hopefully still will be by the time this goes out. So there we go. And I use that as a reason for me to play games.
Okay.
So that's kind of me. I used to get burnt out playing.
Okay, interesting. Because I would say the other way around for me. Before I was a YouTuber and Twitch streamer, when I used to play games for fun, I used to thoroughly enjoy playing through games. It was amazing. It was brilliant. But over the last couple of years, since I've become so heavily involved with YouTube, Twitch streams, and all that, there's a little bit of a sadness involved with playing any game now.
Really?
Because I don't look at it as purely fun. Everything is business. Even if I'm doing it for fun, it's impossible to play it without any business eyes. I can't fully take off those business glasses at all.
Okay, but do you think that's burnout?
In a way, because I go to play a game, and no matter what game it is, I'm going to think about, what questions can I raise in my mind about this game? How can I turn this into content? How can I make money off of this? It's difficult. And even retro games, like when I'm now playing like 4 or 5 hours of retro games every single Saturday night on twitch.tv/Top Hat Chat.
That's the main channel.
Every single Saturday night from 9 PM BST. So I'm playing a ridiculous amount of retro games these days. And playing it for that long is not always enjoyable because you can't just turn the system on and off whenever you want because you've got a live audience.
That is true. The Twitch streams, I must say, are actually quite difficult.
Yeah, they are.
It's not, especially because the length that we actually play.
Yeah.
I've actually started playing Octopath Traveler. And I did this live on stream, and I've decided to make that something that I do, kind of hopefully play the whole game, provided I don't get bored with it. And I didn't want to turn it off. But I knew that I had responsibilities, I had to go, blah, 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 so I had to end the Twitch stream kind of prematurely. So why are we getting such different experiences from essentially the same things?
I personally think just because I've been in the game longer than you. You've been doing this coming up 7 months, where I've been over 2.5 years now. So maybe you will feel differently in another 18 months from now.
Maybe.
You're not old and bitter yet. It's your time. It's your time to come.
Are you going to be keeping an eye on this then?
Yeah, we'll see. Yes, I bet you will feel different.
Just watch my slow decline.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like you look at a state, like you look at people who've been on YouTube like 10 years, and you can tell that more of a toll has been taken on them than just normal aging. Yeah,
to be fair, Ashen's hands are looking older.
Yes, can't disagree with that. Moisturise. Yeah.
Sorry. If he's what he may watch this. Yeah, I'm sorry. I love you.
Yes.
And I'm not sure whether I should call out anymore.
What you're talking about? Which YouTubers look really dishevelled?
You've aged.
I've aged. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was saying this actually. I was watching and I was editing the PC Engine video over this weekend gone, and there was footage I used in it which I shot of me in the gaming museum 6 months ago in the Cambridge Computer Centre, and I was just watching this, thinking I've got a different look in my eyes in these videos. I look less dead inside, back then.
Yeah.
I've been in the content grind for a shorter amount of time.
Yeah, yeah. You've got grayer.
Yeah.
I
haven't got any greys yet, but it's more I feel like with eye bags, and that's what a lot of YouTubers have because they work so hard to get the content out.
I can see one.
There may be one, but they're not going to get much more than that. And no one will know because the top mats, even when I do go grey.
Yeah, you can just hide it.
I'll be able to hide my greys. So yes. So we are talking specifically about gaming burnout, but I fully understand burnout in general. And people might even have noticed that about how long ago was it now? A month ago? 6 weeks ago? I took 2 weeks off YouTube altogether out of burnout. So I thought I'm taking 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
And it worked. Yeah. Because the channel's been wondrous since.
Yeah. Talking about kind of gaming too much. Obviously, there's a lot of really popular Twitch streamers that do a lot of kind of recent content. I say recent content, kind of play the newer games. Not the sort of thing that we would play. But you know,
we're not basic bitches. That's the difference, I suppose.
Yeah, games nonetheless. And there was a streamer that actually decided to not stream for 2 days while he went to a convention, right? And he streams every day, pretty much without fail. Like he's ridiculously dedicated. So lots and lots and lots of playing, and he lost like $200,000 in 2 days because he didn't stream for 2 days. But do you think that could have been a credit to it? Burnout? He thought, I'm going to go to a convention and just put my feet up for a little while and not just sit in front of a monitor for 2 days solidly. These guys play a lot.
No. I personally think that's more to do with just the way the Twitch infrastructure works. Like when if you subscribe to someone on YouTube, you are generally just subscribed to them, whereas on Twitch you have to renew your subscription once a month. So if you're not there and you've got an outrageously huge following, obviously you're going to lose some subscribers because you're not there for them to resubscribe to. So
fair point.
Yeah, I don't know whether that's necessarily so much burnout related. What about the game Burnout? You played that much?
I have.
What do you think of that?
It was a long time ago.
Too long ago.
Yeah. I'm not that enthused.
But yeah, one more thing I am burnt out on actually from making all the YouTube gaming content is I find myself watching far less gaming content now than I used to.
Definitely.
And another thing as well, which hurts quite a lot, is before I was YouTubing, I used to watch completely different channels to the ones I watch now because I can't watch a lot of the content I used to like because I'm too educated now that I know they're not going to produce any content on anything I don't already know.
Yeah,
so
that
I struggle
is
to watch a lot of the channels because they're just too mainstream for me now. Like they're just going to be regurgitating echo chambered information.
Yeah, I suppose you spend a lot of your time watching and researching, and there's not going to be new stuff for you.
Yeah. But no, it's not true. There is. People can bring new things to the table. People can bring new ideas to the table. Look at Kanye West, for example.
We're doing this again.
But no, we will divert from that. So in all seriousness, no. Guru Larry, for example, every episode of Fact Hunt, he will bring new stuff to the table every episode.
Yeah. Otherwise, he wouldn't make the video, I suppose.
Yeah, it's a Fact Hunt. Yeah. So there is YouTube channels out there where you will get quite obscure information with each serving. So
it's just harder to find for you.
Yeah, for me. But I'm not the target demographic for these other YouTubers producing very basic content.
Yeah, so I think there's more kind of gaming burnout related to kind of the content that we create as well, because we try and release 2 to 3 videos a week. We aim for 3, but it tends to be
on top at chat.
Yeah, on top at chat, and there tends to be a bit of an issue sometimes in coming up with ideas for it because we have ideas and stuff. It's kind of like,
this does seem to be a great new way of doing it though, because we've got an extra 80 people watching us live who can throw ideas.
We haven't got a lot of ideas,
but they've been some. They've been coming. They've been coming. It is hard to think of good content ideas all the time.
Yeah. So and I suppose all these people are now realising this.
Yes. Well, yeah, because we're reading. Nope. We're rejecting 9 in 10 ideas, aren't we? So let's do this proof. Yeah. So I suppose that's it. My burnout comes from YouTube, and so it'd probably be a completely different story if I wasn't a YouTuber.
Yeah. See, I don't get burnout. I did get burnout when I was younger. I used to play a lot of games. That was pretty much my entire childhood. I used to have a lot of my friends around all the time. We'd constantly be just gaming. I mean, I had a setup probably very similar to the one that's directly behind this camera, with kind of 3 TVs set up in my lounge at all times, all with different consoles running simultaneously. So if I've got 10 people around my house, we can all play on different consoles and play different games. And that was my childhood. And after you play kind of 10 hours of different games, you do start to get burnt out.
I will say though, your childhood from around the age of 12, you was in kind of the rough, awful period of gaming, the worst period. Well, I believe it to be the worst. The PlayStation 2 original Xbox GameCube period, which was depressing.
To be fair,
it was depressing.
To be fair, that's what I grew up with. So
and it was depressing
for me.
So no wonder you was burnt out.
So for me,
crap.
I enjoyed it.
But you just said you was burnt out for it. You wouldn't have got burnt out if you grew up in a good era like myself. I don't ever remember thinking, "Oh, I'm getting burnt out on this Super Nintendo." It didn't happen.
But I don't think you've put the hours in that I did.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
I was running like 24 hours solid, like 3 days a week, and then sleeping the rest of it.
Fair enough.
Like it was pretty bad at times.
Yes.
Like,
what's our time? How long have we been discussing this lovely subject?
10:28.
10:28. Okay, that's cool. So the reason why we are discussing timings at the moment is because we are actually recording this live on my main Top Hat Gaming Man channel, and we are going to be using this segment for the Top Hat Chat channel. So if you are watching us live right now, do not go anywhere. However, if you're watching the pre-recording of this on the Top Hat Chat channel, let us know in the comment section regarding your gaming burnout stories. We would love to know. Cheerio to you lot. Okay, we're still here. We are still here.
Oh, God.
We are still here. THGM does have a Discord, yes. I would put a Discord link in, but I'm worried about too many things and monitors going on at once.
Yes.
So I won't give it at the moment. But if anyone wants my Discord, send me a tweet and I will send it to you.
Yes. What are you two guys' ages? I'm 28 and he's like 41 or something.
Yes. No, in all seriousness, I'm 32 and a half.
He just looks 41.
Yeah. Too much YouTube. Do you think it is more worth getting a Wii U for Virtual Console or the two mini classic editions if you are young enough to have completely missed those two consoles? It's the stock answer, but I'm saying, you need to get a Raspberry Pi. That's the one.
Oh, God.
It is the best one, though, isn't it? Like, better than those. Actually, get a Wii. Just an
Get
original
a Wii.
Wii. Hack an original Wii. They're like £15.
Cheap, easy.
That's the best way of doing it.
Mm-hmm. You probably got one in your loft somewhere.
What do you think will happen to YouTube with retro gaming shows in the far future? Do you think the way people view them will change? Yes, we can discuss this.
Can we?
Yes, I've already. Yes, we mentioned before we actually go into it. But remember, we was having the conversation about Mike. The way I make my content is only the quality it is because of the groundwork people have put in before. You understand what I'm saying? So
yeah.
The older content is more simplified than what content people are putting out today.
Okay, yeah, we can talk about kind of your documentary style content and stuff like that. That's fine. Yeah, okay, we might be able to cover something with that. Okay, we'll go for a record on this one then. We're running.
Actually, I don't know. I don't want to do that actually because then they'd be able to search us. Like if we've got an angry video game nerd or game historian, we will have videos about them. I don't think it's very good etiquette to make videos about other YouTubers. What do you think?
Would we be directly talking about anybody?
We'd have to think of a good title, wouldn't we? I suppose. What's the question? Actually, he's put that part in brackets. What do you think will happen to YouTube retro game shows in the far future?
Depends what happens with YouTube, I suppose.
So should we try answering that one? See how it gets us there?
What's that?
Should we try answering that one?
I don't know. We definitely need a good one because this is going to be probably the last one that
let's
we do.
Let's go to 8:15. It's 45 minutes gap there for you. Because Luke, we plug it now. Do you want to plug it now?
Straight after this, hopefully around 9 PM BST, I will be going live on Twitch playing some Octopath Traveler.
But that's not the joint Top Hat Chat Twitch channel. That's another Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/TopHatStreet.
Yes, that's
me. Is that right? Yeah. Okay, so give that one a subscribe if you've not follow if you've not done that one yet.
Yeah, so that'll help me out because I'm going for affiliate. It's only going to be my 4th stream tonight solo, so yeah.
I hate downloading illegal files since the Snoopers Charter, and I do indeed have my Wii still in my loft. Why though? What difference does it make? They're games. They're not those. Most of those games aren't for sale anymore, so there's nothing wrong with downloading them. Really.
Snoopers Charter?
I don't even know what he's talking about. No.
I'm not completely sure. That sounds like something American.
Yeah, copyright.
Yeah.
It's different.
And somebody just use a VPN, which is exactly what I was going to say.
No one's gonna be chasing stuff that's not even for sale.
Yes.
Yeah, no one's gonna sue you over downloading stuff they're not even trying to sell in the first place.
Use an onion.
Yeah.
That is how it works.
Okay, let's have some more questions. Because I think did we want to talk about that one or not? The YouTuber question. How will it be remembered? Or is that too?
I think it's hard to do anything with that.
From your global travels, apart from the UK, Japan, and US, which country has the biggest gaming community? Quite a tough one.
That's a tough one, and it's very, very subjective.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are the big three, though, in my opinion. Would you agree with that? UK, Japan, US. That's where most developers and that seem to come from, don't
they? I suppose it probably would be, although it's hard to answer without having physical statistics in front of us to prove our points. That would have to be researched, and we're not doing researchable content. Sorry for anybody that's got that in their ear. I'm actually going to mute that. That's probably a good idea. Sorry.
How about the growth of battle royale games and game modes, and how smaller studios are losing their way in business by rushing BR battle royale games out? I don't know enough about those. I don't think really, because I hate them.
Skip it. No research. Exactly.
Do you think VR has some kind of longevity, or will it get any better? We've talked about this actually in the previous video. So, do you think that there will ever be another gaming character as big and as expansive as Mario? Should we try talking about that?
I don't know. That's not a bad one.
France and Spain also make good games. Yep, there are definitely other countries, but which one would you put as the number 4 nation? It's tough.
No, that Windows sound was from my PC. I just forgot to mute the desktop audio.
If a video games company made you the project manager of a retro game remake, what game would it ideally be for you? How would you remake it? Would you make it in 2.5D or 3D? Any other change? That's a lot of question.
Depends on the game.
Yeah. You'd want to remake something bad, surely. Like I suppose what they've done with Shaq Fu, they make it good. I don't know if they've done that with Shaq Fu, but you'd want to make something what was nearly there but not quite. So I suppose Zelda 2, that'd be a good one to remake because it was a good game, but it was flawed.
Yeah, it's based on
flawed, but with a lot of potential.
Base it on Breath of the Wild and just fix it completely. It'd be perfect then.
No.
According to IGN.
If Google gets a console out, what would it be a good mascot game character for them? Just a G with eyes.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah. Remake. I just saw your in television video. Nice job. The song stuck in my head. I always miss mine television.
Oh, it's taking me 2 hours to drink this tea.
So Maru has asked us to make out. No. That's not a question mark. That's a statement. You've lost your turn.
Modern retro RPGs. Is that 10 minutes worth?
He's talking about Octopath Traveler.
Yeah.
And I've said I really hate the look of them.
I love it. I think it looks amazing.
Review the hyperscan. Once I've got a hyperscan, there's no reason why I won't.
What right now? We'll review it now without any knowledge or ever playing one.
What's a heavily underrated retro or modern or 8-bit, 16-bit-ish game that you haven't discussed? A bit subjective, obviously. Oh, what one haven't I discussed what I love? It's a lot. There's...
Oh. Dead air.
Yeah, I don't even know where to start with that one.
That's
Blazing Lasers, but I think I'm gonna have discussed it a bit in the last video.
Yeah, there's a series going on somewhere about discussing
thoughts on the original Punch Out. Can we give much thoughts on the original Punch Out? Do you know the Muffin Man? Do you know the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man, the Muffin Man. Do you know the Muffin Man who lives down Drury Lane?
That's terrible content.
Why is it?
I'm not just going to put that up on the top of the chat. Yeah, it's not clickbaitable enough.
Are you going to buy the next generation consoles day one? Definitely not. 100%.
I'll probably buy one of them. So there we go. We've had a couple of those pop up.
Someone has just donated $2. Now you've sampled the PCE. Will you buy one? Yes, I will buy one. Indeed. Do you play Fortnite? No.
No. I play a bit of PUBG sometimes.
Is Octopath Traveler good?
I'm enjoying it so far, but I'm only a couple of hours in.
I want a juicy question. Juicy, come on. Come on, Hive Mind. Help us out.
We've literally got... You're going away for 5 weeks and we've got like less than 2 weeks worth of footage.
Let's start.
I'm at work for the next 3 days and then you're away. This is
Do you watch Hard for Games? No. Don't know what it is.
Sounds sexy.
Okay, you've got a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen, to come up with something. Otherwise, I'm going to choose a topic for you.
Right, okay. Well, so we're going to start talking about things and coming up with ideas. And we're just going to look around this room. This is our process. A lot of the time, you're seeing our process.
We just look around the room.
Nomad? No. We've done Amiibos. What have you got?
Should we talk about Pogs?
No.
Why not?
Because I wasn't around for Pogs.
Oh. But it's more about, will they make a comeback?
If we were going to do this, we'd have to do this as us playing Pogs. And we'd have to do this outside of this particular format.
Thoughts on the Atari VCS? We've done it.
Done it. It's up there. Yeah. Top Hat Chat. YouTube.com/C/Top Hat Chat. There is a video on the Atari VCS.
Do you know about Power Punch 2, the unofficial sequel to Mike Tyson's Punch Out? No.
Anything? Or are we having trouble?
We're having trouble. What's a game that you don't like that is favoured by a majority of everyone else? There's a massive one. You probably know what it is straight away, don't you?
I didn't hear what you said.
A game what's favoured by most people, but I hate.
Fortnite is the big one.
No, but there's a lot of people who hate Fortnite.
You're talking about an older one?
No, just generally what most people love. Most people hate. Fortnite is Marmite, like Call of Duty. People love it or hate it. A game what most people love, but I hate. Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild, yeah. I forgot that game existed. And I only spoke about it like literally 2 minutes ago.
Thoughts on the Atari Lynx? What is your favourite 8th gen console?
Favourite 8th gen?
PS4. It's PS4.
Not the Wii? You?
Does the Wii U count? We've not done that. Have we done that before? Talked about why console generations don't actually work and it's a silly term. Have we done a video on that before?
Don't
think we have.
I don't know. I don't think we have. Do we need to get a list? I might actually be able to get a list. We'll have a look. Right, you keep looking.
Okay, we might be discussing generations in general, because as we just decided, we don't know whether the Wii U or the Switch would be counted as an 8th gen console, which one. And that's the thing, because personally, I don't believe in this generational thing, because there's been consoles constantly made for years and years and years, especially, so a lot of them, how would you fit into generations? It doesn't really make much sense. But then, like, we'll make a block of consoles one year, then another block. They've literally been coming out year after year after year after year. I suppose my favourite current gen console is the Ouya. Would you agree?
Is that current gen?
Yeah.
When did it come out?
2013, I think.
Oh, God, yeah, it technically would be.
Topic, how difficult is it to come up with a topic? Let's do that.
No.
What?
It's funny.
No, we can do that. Can we talk about a process and that? That is a good topic.
There is a lot missing from this list.
Do you see the modern gaming bubble where it is now bursting at some point, or slowly increasing or decreasing? Thoughts on the 3DO? Have we done that as a video on Top Hat Chat already?
We can do this.
That's another thing. What generation does the Virtual Boy fall on? Okay, let's talk about this then.
We can do this. You know your dates of consoles, right?
Yes, I do. Generally.
Well?
Quite well. Well enough.
Okay, cool.
I'll get away with it. It might be 1 year out, but that's the worst it would be.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to go again for the next video. Thank you for your help generating ideas, everyone.
Hello and welcome to Top Hat Chat with myself, Street, and the Top Hat Gaming Man. That's
I am
this one.
Indeed the Top Hat Gaming Man.
Top Hat Gaming Man.
Yes, Mr. Yeah. Top Hat Gaming Man to you.
Yeah, today we are going to be talking about console generations and why they are so stupid.
Yes, the term console generation is outrageous. Like, what idiot invented console generations? There's no such thing as a console generation.
It's strange. There is a definition.
Okay, can we explain?
A vague definition.
Can you give us the vague definition?
Right,
by
so
any chance?
I've just literally just searched this, and they're talking about. I'm not sure if it's class a definition, to be honest, but I will.
But what does Wikipedia say?
No, this is from Quora.
Okay.
Okay. So, video game console generations are defined by the dominant game console in their marketplace. Anytime there's a significant shift in the marketplace leader to a new hardware model, that signals a console generation. As such, this can be very arbitrary.
So even in the definition, it admits it's arbitrary.
Yes, but people go on about console generations like there is some kind of
physical thing,
super fixed, definite thing that definitely should exist, and that's strange.
So why do you think people do that?
I suppose it's just commonly used term, isn't it?
Even I use it, and it doesn't make sense.
The more a term is used in people's vocabulary, the more it becomes something.
Like in my recent GameCube video, I did actually refer to it as a 6th generation console.
It's like selfie isn't a word, but became a word because it was because of widespread use.
That's all words, though, isn't it? But that's the thing. These generation things are more than a word, though. I don't know, it's a state. But it's quite hard, really, because, like, for example, what's classed, I think, the Atari 2600, for example, I think that's classed as a 2nd generation console.
It most certainly is, according to this list.
And I think the Nintendo Entertainment System is classed a 3rd generation console. Am I correct?
It most certainly is.
So where would the ZX Spectrum be? Because that came out about halfway between the two.
This has got some dates. Okay, so I will show you some dates. It says here that the 1st generation console was the Magnavox Odyssey.
Yes.
Which would make sense, I suppose. Running from 1972 to 1977. So there's the date.
So it's doing it on dates then, dated periods. So it's saying there are fixed periods.
Now this one there is an overlap. So 2nd generation, we're looking at Atari 2600 or 2600. 1976 to 1983. Make sense?
Yeah, I suppose.
Okay. NES 1983, 1987, 3rd gen. Then 4th generation is SNES / Genesis / Mega Drive. 1987 to 1993. 5th generation, PS1, Saturn, and Nintendo 64.
Can I stop you for a second there?
Well, you just get me to the end of my date.
Yeah, but then it's going to be horrible backtracking, going through everything again.
93 to 98. There we go. Yes.
Okay.
So
we're talking about that period. So you've got the SNES and the Genesis, or Mega Drive, as it should be called on that site, because it was only called Genesis in like a couple of countries. So no idea why they've wrote it with the wrong system type. So that's just weird.
SNES, Genesis,
Mega Drive. Stop saying Genesis. You're going to poison my brain.
Sorry. 87 to 93. What's your problem?
What?
You said about that particular era.
My problem is like where would you fit the Atari Jaguar? To the Sega 32X and like the Amiga CD32 and all systems like that in between, or the Philips CDI. Where's those? What generation are those then? Are they in the SNES generation or the PlayStation generation?
Well,
does it say what on there? What generation those fall into?
No, it doesn't.
That's what I'm saying.
There might be a more definitive list
because those are literally in between those systems. So what generation's that in?
See, that's strange. As we go further down the list.
And there is a massive difference between those three style systems as well.
I mean, the Jaguar is an anomaly. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on and read the rest of the list. Okay? Just so we can cover everything. So 6th generation, 1998 to 2005. Dreamcast, PS2, GameCube, Xbox. Any issues with that?
They need to have the new one on there as well.
Okay. So that's an issue.
Yeah.
7th gen, 2005 to 2012. PS3, 360, Wii.
Okay.
Any issues?
Not overly.
Okay, so that one's not too bad.
They make sense in recent history because there's hardly any systems released.
Okay.
But back in the day where there was like 10 consoles coming out a year, that's when I'm saying generation didn't make any sense because they were coming out so fluidly and rapidly. They only make sense in the present. But even now it's a bit confusing because the Wii U and the Nintendo Switch were made so close together.
See, this is where we're getting a problem.
And you could even argue that the Dreamcast is in the same generation as the Nintendo 64.
Yes.
8th
generation, PS4, Xbox One, Wii U, 2012 to present.
Yeah.
which doesn't take into account the Switch.
Yeah.
Which should not be in the same console generation as the Wii U.
No, that's the only thing that wouldn't make sense. So you could say the NS is like.
And also, we also have a PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X. That is essentially, I think, equivalent to a game add-on such as the 32X, which goes back to the problem that we had before, where they're an in-between system. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's why I said I wanted to get to the bottom of this to come back to that point. So, is there like an 8.5 generation?
You could argue a point for the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
You could argue a point for those, but you couldn't with the Switch. You'd have to say the Switch is 9th generation. Because
Yes,
it has to
definitely.
be the generation after the Wii U. It has to
So
be.
when should the 9th generation start? Because the 9th generation should have started at roughly the same time as the 8.5 generation, which can't happen.
I think it's just a case of these generations don't exist. They're stupid.
Yeah.
They're arbitrary.
I mean, there was some precedent for overlapping, but overlapping doesn't make it...
Then they're not generations if they overlap, do they?
It makes
Well,
definite
I suppose
issues.
they do a little bit. I suppose sometimes you get a child whose uncle is younger than him, so generations do overlap as well with humans.
Well, I suppose that makes sense then. It does make considerably more sense than maybe our first impression of console generations. So there is some overlap going on, but again, there's with the 32X, the Jaguar. When did the Jaguar come out?
1993.
Spec-wise, where does it fit in 1993? The Jaguar came out in 1993, which, according to this, is the end of 4th gen, start of 5th gen.
I would place it in terms of power somewhere between the Super Nintendo and the PlayStation, somewhere in the middle.
So that is literally right where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
in terms of spec.
Yeah, but these actual generations aren't one.
But it makes it hard to place.
Yeah, you can't go 1st gen, 2nd gen, 3rd gen, 4th gen. That doesn't make sense.
So in theory, we can quite safely say that if you worked it out into slight overlaps and 0.5 of a generation,
that would be the only logical way of doing it, I suppose.
And then you'd have like super subgenres.
But then some things throw it completely out the window, as I said, like the Nintendo Switch and the Wii U. They can't both be 8th gen.
No, the Switch would have to be 9th gen, and then that would have to be grouped in with the new Xbox and the PS5.
Yeah.
But then you'd have a bit of overlap with the longevity of the PS4 and the Xbox One, and the Xbox One X as a 0.5 generation, and that would make that longer. So
should we just conclude that these generation things is just complete nonsense and stupid, and whoever came up with it's a moron?
It's really, really hard. Like, there's no
such thing as a console generation.
There is no mention at all of microcomputers in that list.
Again, it's hard because a gaming platform's a gaming platform, surely.
And PCs are every generation.
None of it makes sense. Are handhelds in there? Have they put those in there?
They haven't.
So even that makes it confusing as well.
It gets confusing earlier, but less confusing later, because as we spoke about in a previous video, it's pretty much Nintendo. So it's whenever Nintendo decide to release a new handheld, that's when it changes.
No, there's more confusion than that, because there's a 3DS and a new 3DS.
So that's the 0.5.
Yeah.
There we go. So that comes with my subgenres back again.
Yeah.
So are we trying to right a wrong here?
And what about the Virtual Boy? Where does that go? Is that a handheld or is that a console? What generation is the Virtual Boy? None of it makes sense.
That can't be a 0.5 or a handheld, because handhelds seem to be held in different regard. They have handheld.
Like, what's the sequel to the Game Boy? The Game Boy Color or the Virtual Boy?
Oh.
And
when did the Virtual Boy come out? Between
1990. It came out in 1995.
So after the
Game Boy,
SNES.
it did, and before the Nintendo 64, and it came out after the Game Boy and before the Game Boy Color.
Oh,
it's all a mess, isn't it?
It's a mess.
Just don't think about generations.
I'm trying.
They don't work.
I'm glad this is the last one that we're recording in this block, because
one more.
I'm getting a headache.
We have one more.
Maybe.
So yes,
it's tight.
Yeah, it's not tight. You're starting at 9. You've got plenty of time. 2-minute drive home.
Okay.
In fact, it'll probably do you a favour, because Luke's about to go live on his own Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/TopHatStreet, as opposed to our Saturday night brand, which is twitch.tv/TopHatChat, where you will find us on Saturdays.
Thank you for that shameless plug.
Yes, we love shameless
Very
plugs.
nice.
We have plugs. We have a Patreon as well, if you fancy funding it. Yes, yes.
Well done. Yes. Yeah. So I think we've had to come to a conclusion of the fact that console generations,
nonsense,
as they stand, are completely ridiculous. But with a considerable amount of fine tuning by somebody with bigger brains than ours, it could be worked out to be slightly better, but still not perfect.
It could. Yeah, you could do it. Basically, it needs a tighter definition, because at the moment it's just too arbitrary, isn't it?
Well, that's what this definition says on my phone.
Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us know in the comment section what you think of console generations, and if it's a term you believe should exist or not. Also, if you're watching us on Top Hat Gaming Man YouTube channel live, we will still be here for another 10 minutes or so. However, if you're watching this pre-recorded version, then cheerio!
Oh, one more thing.
Oh,
just before we stop, one thing that I would like to see in the comment section is if you have any obscure consoles which weren't mentioned in this video and have no real place in lists, place them yourselves.
Yes.
I'd like to see everybody working together in the comment section to place some obscure consoles in generations like 4.6.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to make the Ouya great again. Cheerio. Okay, we're still here. We are still here.
There we go.
Yeah. Casey Yates says Wikipedia says Switch is 8th gen, but it doesn't mean it's right.
Yeah, Wikipedia is always wrong. You can't use it for referencing in university, so no.
Yeah.
LOL 4.6. Yeah, I want to know what is console generation 4.6.
Yeah. And someone says the Virtual Boy is the first generation of black and white VR consoles. It is joined by the R Zone.
See, again, lots and lots of subgenres. I definitely want to know more about these subgenres and what subgenres people can come up with. Because by the end of the comment section, it will be a ridiculous list. It will, won't it?
It will,
Let's be completely honest. It'll be hilarious to watch.
Which generation is the Xbox One X in? Is it more powerful yet than technically an Xbox One?
Well, I think that we put that in, that was 8.5. Yeah.
And again, the Famicom Disk System, that must be 3.5.
Yeah.
Same logic.
It has given me a headache.
Someone's written, in my opinion, Gen's off for marketing reasons, but the line is a blur now. No, I don't think they've ever been marketed as certain generation systems, have they?
They've always been put next gen.
Yeah, they just write next gen, yeah.
But not as a specific numerical value.
Yeah. Switch is not a leap in technology, gaming-wise. Well, most consoles haven't been since we've discussed this, since the PlayStation 3. No, since the Xbox 360, nothing's been a significant leap gaming-wise.
Right, hold on. Because I don't think that that's completely true.
Oh, we talked about this loads. And
No. Not that part, but the Switch not being a leap in technology games-wise.
Well, it's definitely a different generation to the 3DS. It looks so much better.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's a definite leap from there. It doesn't necessarily look better than the Wii U by much, but it is a leap in the technology because it's a considerably smaller system, so it's more compact and it does more things. So it is a leap, just in a slightly different direction to better graphics.
Yeah,
it's leapt in a different direction.
Is that a good question? Again, from Victor Mares. When did you realise you were a retro gamer? Have I discussed that before?
I don't know.
What generation is the Mega Duck? It'd be the same as... I don't know, actually. We
don't know!
No. To anyone who knows a PC Engine CD and a Sega CD, which is better in terms of games? Probably the PC Engine CD. Neo Geo X. It's got to be like a mini style generation, hasn't it? Where do the minis go? Yeah, where does the NES Mini go? What generation is that in?
I don't know.
Please, yeah, so I'll just write PC Engine. PC Engine.
PC Engine.
PC Engine. Come on, question. Someone we get another question.
We're gonna get some like random one come right now. It's gonna be perfect.
We want a perfect question. Commodore 64 console. There is a Commodore 64 console. Yeah, we don't know where that fits. It's got to be in the NES one though, surely. That's got to be with the NES and Master System. Top Hat's World of Games.
Anything.
The NES Mini is the nostalgia gem. Yeah, but which is it? Is it 8th gen? Is it an 8th gen console?
No.
Jimmy Savile or Cliff Richard? Now then.
Does the success of Octopath Traveler mean a return for turn-based JRPGs? Again, can't stretch it out over 10 minutes, we don't think, but that is a good question that I'll be answering on my Twitch channel By the time I get to the end of my run.
Yes, someone said, does Game & Watch fall under handhelds? And if so, wouldn't that make a Game Boy second generation? Yes, it is actually classified. They do classify it as a second generation handheld. The Microvision would be a first generation cartridge-based handheld, where we're talking specifically cartridge-based.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Do you know retro games during the Did you know retro gamers during the 90s? What would a retro game in the 90s look like? Microcomputer enthusiast.
They have a very specific look.
And smell.
Google it. You can't Google the smell.
Yeah.
Not yet, anyway. Maybe that'll be the 9th gen consoles.
Yeah.
It'll be like smell-o-vision.
Retro gamers.
Yes.
Does Top Back Game Man read Retro Gamer magazine? Yes, I have done in the past. I don't.
It's harder to find now.
No, what do you mean, Retro Game magazine? No, you
Yeah,
just go to Tesco or Smiths.
Yeah, but who does it? Who goes out of their house anymore?
Yeah, but I don't like it anymore. Like I said, it falls under the same problem I have with a lot of YouTube channels. I know everything in it, so I read it.
Is it doing Switch content?
I won't learn anything. No, but they classify like the GameCube and the original Xbox and stuff as retro now. So that's another thing that's put me off.
GameCube is.
It makes me feel old.
We're allowed in the retro section on the GameCube on Twitch, so.
And that Twitch makes me feel really old. What about the Nomad? Where the heck does that sit exactly?
They're individual questions, which is fine.
What's your thoughts on some of the strange piracy gadgets, like those bun game doctor things? I'd love to see an in-depth video on those. I'd have to procure some to be able to cover them.
Yeah, it's definitely something that we should
Thoughts
do.
on the Magnavox Odyssey? My thoughts are I don't have one yet. What is the best gaming bargain you've obtained overall? I'm sure there's something I've just got, which was the Mega Duck, probably. Isn't it?
You were really happy with
I found the Mega Duck for £50 this week. I've got my own Mega Duck for only £50. Do you believe in Polybius? No, I do not.
Where did the Tiger LCD games go in terms of a gen? No idea.
Super Mario 3 versus Mario 64, which is the best? No, correct answer is Mario 3. Mario World, both are wrong. What's the worst procurement you ever had? I could do that if you fancy that.
Is that 10 minutes worth?
Probably. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be 10 minutes, does it? Have you ever played... I'll go get my worst procurement. I don't even keep it in here. I hate it that much.
-1 gen. I don't know what that would be. Have you played any... I can't even read some of these, sorry. Best machine for retro. Is it the Pi? Pi is the best. No, it's not the Pi. It's the Wii. What do you think of indie games and their rising popularity in recent years? It's a good thing. Get to play some more retro-y style games and brand new stuff. So
this is my worst.
Oh,
story behind it as well.
Okay, yeah, we'll do this. Keep it off camera.
Okay.
For now. Slide it along, Paul.
Do you even know what it is?
I've got an idea. Let's keep that right out of the way. Let's not do that. Whoa. There we go. Right, okay. So we're going to do this.
Thank you for the donation, Casey Yates. Very, very appreciated.
Yes. Right, so we're going to start recording. Hopefully these have actually recorded, otherwise we're screwed. Right. What's happened to the camera? There's lots of shoulder.
We're not that screwed because my YouTube will save all of it.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay. There's a lot of dead space over this side.
You can edit it if you need to, can't you? You can re-put it on. You can just slide it on and then put the logo back on.
Shall I give it a slight turn?
If you...
Maybe.
What's changed? Has it not been like that all night?
It has, but I don't think it's looked completely like that.
It can't change. You've not moved the sofa.
No. I was sitting more over this way, but we'll get into it a little bit. Yeah, we can do this. We can do this. Yeah. Okay. My grumpy face. Okay. Hello and welcome once again to Top Hat Chat with myself, Street, and the Top Hat Gaming Man. That's him, by the way.
It is me, yes.
Today on the channel we are going to be discussing our worst ever gaming procurements, as he likes to put it. The things that we've bought that we regret the most.
Have you got any particular?
I do, but
Let's
I'm going to tell. Do you want me to tell my story
yes,
first?
let's hear from you first, because you've got a smaller collection.
It's definitely not a retro gaming procurement.
Neither's mine, actually.
It's a current gaming procurement, and I've told this story a couple of times on different live streams, but I'll tell this story once again. Just after the Nintendo Switch came out, within the first 2 days, maybe it could have even been launch day, I wanted to go out and buy myself a Switch, like a lot of people. You wanted one, I wanted one, everybody wanted one. And I wanted one, and I was also going to buy one for my partner and my stepdaughter. And we phoned up our local Toys R Us, which is miles away.
R.I.P. Toys R Us.
There we go. No, I'm glad they're dead.
Oh, good. Is that part of the story?
That is part of the story.
Okay.
So I phoned up the local Toys R Us, which again is like an hour's drive, hour and 20 minutes drive in traffic away from me. And I said, hiya, I wondered if you got any Nintendo Switches in stock. To which they replied, actually, we do. And I said, okay, great. I would like 3, please. And they went, 3? Why on earth would you like 3? So I said, well, I would like one, and my partner would like one, and I have a little girl that would like one. So there we go. That's a reason for buying 3. Would that be okay? Could you reserve them for us and we'll come up and buy them now? And the gentleman said, yes, that's no problem. I'll stick them aside for you and you can come and buy them. So off I went on my travels, sitting in traffic for a very long period of time. It took me longer than an hour and 20 minutes because of how long it was taking me, because of the time that I left.
A lot of people want Nintendo Switches.
Yeah, maybe that is why. And we turned up at the store and we went in. We were like, okay, I had a little walk around for 5 minutes because it's Toys R Us. We don't get to go there very often. I quite like toys and gadgets and stuff. And I went over to the reservation desk and said, hiya, I've reserved 3 Nintendo Switches. And the person behind the counter went, sure, no problem. Of course you can come and get your Nintendo Switches. Hold on for 1 second. I'm just going to pop out the back. Out they went out the back, not a problem. Came back out and went, I'm sorry, you can't have them.
What? Why? So they think you was a scalper?
Essentially, yes.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. They're trying to protect us
said,
from scalpers.
So what exactly is the problem? We're not allowed to sell them to you. Why? Because you might sell them on. First of all, it doesn't matter if I'm going to sell them on. That is none of your business. I'm not. I'm going to buy one. This person here also is going to buy one. And this person here is going to buy one. So I would like my 3 Switches, which I phoned up and checked 2 hours ago to make sure that it was definitely okay. Explained to them the situation. They said, absolutely no problem. You have wasted my time and my money in travelling here. Not budging at all. Regardless of the fact that there was 3 people standing in the store that all desperately wanted one. 2 hours of backwards and forwards speaking to management, speaking to staff, talking about the conversations that I've had, getting staff in trouble for lying to me on the phone, saying that it was fine and wasting my time. Eventually, I managed to walk out with 3 Switches. Do you know how I managed to do that?
How?
I had to send each person, including myself, out of the store to re-enter individually with my one card, go up to the counter and buy a Nintendo Switch and then walk back out again before the next person could walk in with the same card and go and do that again. And then again. That is how I procured my 3 Switches. That is the most miserable experience of my life. It was boring, it was stressful, and I was doing a good thing. I was buying people Switches. I was giving them to people.
But then again, that's not nothing wrong with the procurement. That's the experience in buying it. Was it worth it though to get these 3 Switches? Was it worth buying?
No, I could have just bought them online, and the actual stress of the actual thing spoiled it for me. It spoiled Switch Day.
But this subject's more about the procurements itself. Do you like having those 3 Switches now you've got them?
I'm starting to enjoy it now. It's taken me like a year to do so.
Okay, well, I've got a completely different spin on this. Mine's about my worst procurement, like my biggest regretful purchase.
Anyway, sorry, one thing. So I'm glad you're dead, Toys R Us. You've been dead to me for a long time, and now you're officially dead, so good.
Yeah, good. I don't like you either.
Yeah, there we go.
So this is my worst gaming procurement, and luckily it's inside a coffin. So there's some death involved too.
It seems appropriate.
So yes,
I noticed that it has Belmont on the front.
yes. So what do you think that is?
It's probably Mario of some kind.
Yes, perhaps.
Because it is Belmont.
So basically, it's a special edition version, or collector's edition version of Castlevania Lord of Shadows 2.
See, this should be perfect for you because you are a collector.
Yeah.
And you're a game collector. It's
Yeah.
a collector's edition. What's wrong with that?
Well, I'm not going to be making a dig into collector's editions because I'm doing that in another video.
Oh, and you're a Castlevania fan.
I'm a big Castlevania fan. It's more to do with the fact that I got ripped off when I bought it. Majorly ripped off.
Okay.
Really badly ripped off. I bought this from Game. I saw it behind the counter.
Ooh.
I bought it and I thought, wow, that's Castlevania Special Edition. That's got to be worth something one day.
When
People are obsessed with Castlevania.
When was this?
About 5 years ago, I think. Whenever Lord of Shadows came out.
I
Either way, I thought Castlevania Special Edition. That's a good procurement. Paid £120 for it, I think.
Oh, ouch.
Got home, selling them on eBay £30 a pop.
Oh,
£30 a pop. That Game charged me 4 times the market value for the item.
that is painful.
Yeah, it was second hand in there as well.
Oof.
So yeah, Game charged me 4 times the value of. That's why it's always wise to price check before you buy something because you'll get mugged off.
They CX'd you.
Yeah, Game completely screwed me over with this one.
Okay, so you spent 120 Great British pounds.
Yes.
On
something worth £30.
That.
Yes.
What's in it?
Okay, we'll have a little look inside it.
Do you want to borrow my lap, or you're right?
Yeah, you can do. It's quite nice, but it's like I said, the fact that it was I paid 4 times its value for it was rather upsetting.
Well, the first thing that I'd like to say is good quality cardboard with a little bit of plastic on it. They look like them cheap Halloween decorations. Do you not think?
Yes, that's what it does. Yeah.
But there we go. So nice quality cardboard at least. And it comes with a book with Castlevania stuff in that book. I'll hold it up and show people. Artwork? Or have you never opened this?
Never really opened it.
Artwork.
It annoyed me too
I
much.
suppose. There we go. Just flick for a couple of the pages. The artwork isn't even like anything amazing. It's all very dark, which I suppose is in fitting with.
And you know what's quite amusing as well? The game got quite a bad review score.
Did it?
Yeah. And they've not made a Castlevania game ever since. It kind of killed the franchise.
More cardboard. Quality.
Cardboard. Yeah, it's just cardboard.
It is just cardboard. A collector's tin thing. What are these called?
Don't know.
They've got
tin edition.
Tin edition, yeah. That's quite nice, I suppose, but nothing special. Inside it's just plastic and crap. Doesn't say CX on the inside though, which is nice.
You forget that games used to have manuals quite recently, don't
you? Yeah, that does come with a manual as well. Yeah. So there we go. Put that over there. What's next?
Pull that red thing.
This one. More quality cardboard, and then we have 3 figures. It looks like.
You bring them up close to the webcam.
Yeah, I will. I'll go nice and close to this one. Who's that?
Don't know.
Don't know. I'll come forwards, nice and close.
That man. You up? Is that man?
I don't. I'm going to destroy the thing.
The focus.
The focus.
Is it working? I can't see.
To be fair, that's not too out of focus. A little bit, maybe.
Not too out of focus. A little bit.
There we go. That's not actually out of focus, I don't think.
And we've also got.
Oh yeah, okay.
We got Lord Zed in there as well.
Yeah.
Is that Lord Zed?
I have no idea.
Apparently, looks like Lord Zed.
A little bit, I suppose. And this gentleman.
I think that was Dracula.
Okay. There we go. Not super close, but we're there.
Looks like a 1977 Star Wars figure, very poorly made.
Yeah,
that is made by Kenner.
They're plastic, first of all.
They're worse than 1970 Star Wars figures, actually, because at least 1970 Star Wars figures, you could move their limbs.
Oh, you can move this one. Look, they're like rubbery.
Oh, okay.
Very slightly rubbery, plasticky crap. The paint jobs aren't good. That one is either missing an eye or it's not painted.
They have that 70s Star Wars feel, don't they? When you look at them, like especially really, that one.
Really poor quality.
Like how? Let me see how close I can show that one up. Very Star Wars.
Yay, there we go. Good focus. Do you want to quickly throw these up there? We're going to be out of focus for the rest of the video, so everyone can see.
Okay. So you see another one.
Is it going to focus?
No.
This one won't. It's covering his face.
It's covering
anyway.
his face.
He should cover his face.
Bugger.
It's miserable.
And Lord Zed.
Dracula was the only one that focused.
No. Yeah, Dracula must have special powers.
Maybe.
Okay.
Anyway, they're awful.
So yes, worst £120 I ever spent, ladies and gentlemen. Ever.
To be fair, that is sickening. I would be sick. Did you not think about trying to get your money back for it?
No.
That was the wrong way around.
It was my mistake.
Right, we'll put this back in a minute.
I think it's fine like this.
Do you want to do an outro to your worst things? What?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this was the worst thing ever. In fact, I should check eBay again, see if it's worth anything now, because then I might actually be able to get rid of it.
Would you get rid of it even, like...
If it was worth something, yes, I would get rid of it, because I hate it. I don't even keep it in my games room, ladies and gentlemen.
It brings
even
back
looks
memories.
bad, doesn't it? That does not look good on a shelf.
No, it doesn't. It looks miserable.
Maybe if I lived in a goth's house or something, it's like, oh hello, I'm a goth. Do you like my coffin I keep on my shelf?
That's essentially.
Then yes, that'd be yes. I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah, not good. Not good procurements. Mine was more of the experience of buying, and yours was
more of the rip-off.
Yeah, the fact that you got screwed.
Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us know in the comments section about some of your worst procuring experiences. We would like to know, wouldn't we?
Most definitely.
Yes. So, let us know. Cheerio! Okay, we're still here, we're still live, but we've recorded another video. How many did we do?
5, 6 maybe.
6.
Yeah.
They were quite long ones and quite in depth, some of those, I would say.
Yeah.
We got a good audience.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Yeah, I'm happy with it.
You've been a terrific audience, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, wonderful. So we're actually going to sign off now because I've got places to go.
Enigma Music says, why would a goth talk like Marquis?
I don't know. No idea. But this has been fun. We may do this again in the future. I don't see why not.
Ryan Secret said it's the IT crowd goth.
That's the one. Thank you. We were talking about this the other day, weren't we? Yeah. So thank you so much for being a part of our mass taping.
It's been different.
It's been different. It's been an experience.
And I think this might be the way to go ahead, don't you?
Well, I don't know. It's pretty eye-opening for people to see behind the scenes and how difficult it is to come up with something that is 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's been easier and it's been more enjoyable doing it straight without the stopping and starting. What do you think?
It hasn't been too bad. We'll have to see.
We got 6 done in 2 hours.
We'll have to see how the videos actually do.
Yeah,
so.
we've made 6 videos in 2 hours.
Yeah.
That is quick.
Yeah, we'll have to see how well they do.
They do the same as always. Bad.
Probably.
It's the Top Hat Chat channel. So, there's 79 of you watching at the moment. You may or may not be subscribed to the other channel, Top Hat Chat. We'll be putting up all of these videos over in singular form. But apart from that, there's a lot of videos on there already. How many videos have we got on that channel? Can you tell us?
It's about 60.
So yeah, there's 60 videos on there to watch already, discussing various topics like the ones we have discussed today.
To be fair, we're up to 1995. So we've gained 6 since the start of
Yes! Welcome to the 6 people to Top Hat Chat YouTube.
Yeah, so wonderful. Almost at 2K. So yeah, if you go over there now, you might see... You might be our 2000th.
Yeah.
Not that you'll get anything for that, apart from gratitude.
Yes.
But yeah, no, thank you for being here. We've really appreciated everything that you've done. It's been nice to be on the big channel again. I don't get that very often. So yeah, it's nice to be back.
Prime time slot.
Yes. So thank you all for enjoying what we do. And
Raise Dragon X, can we do this more often? Yes, we can, but not for a while, because part of the reason we did this is because I am going on holiday abroad for 5 weeks.
Yes.
So we're creating a backlog tonight.
Yeah.
So, but yes, give it 6 weeks' time. Maybe we'll do it again.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for being here.
Yes. Cheerio.